Look at this guy's idle pose.
I'm trying to
Fucking sick.
Oh, I know.
A breeze just comes out of nowhere. Yeah.
Oh, it's like already open.
Yeah, I'm about this. I'm about this already.
We're already live, aren't we?
Yeah.
God, I'm not even.
Alright, this game oozes style already.
Is this offline? Oh wait, now it's saying live. Alright, we're in.
Someone's calling me.
I gotta change all the fucking info.
Whoa, there's a cutscene now. What is going on?
I don't know, but this music is incredible.
Oh, now it's... I guess that wasn't the start of the game? I don't get it.
Fucking gacked! Alright, I'm like... this game is like already so much.
I can't...
Whoa, Maya Sakamoto's in this game. She's one of my favorite. And Norio Wakamoto's in this game. He's the guy who we were just watching go Kyoru in Baccano.
I can't keep up with this.
Yosuke Kuroda wrote it. That's an anime writer who's really good. There's a lot of fucking names blasting past my eyeballs that I know and nobody else does. You guys are watching I Am Games,
The most on-brand stream on Twitch.tv!
As of my shirt change, and this is fucking Bujingai, a game that neither of us had ever heard of.
Yes. Someone recommended it to us in the comments of the Shinobi
video.
He said, yeah, this and like Bujingai are some of my favorite games, and I just looked it up because I'd never heard of it. I watched 30 seconds of the gameplay footage, came all over my computer screen, wiped it off, and then went to eBay and ordered it.
This game looks fucking awesome. First of all, you play as fucking Gact. Do you know who Gact is?
I do know who Gact is.
So, you probably know him from, I know
Gact because my younger sister was super into J-pop for like 5 years, so I knew all about Gact. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm referencing though?
I don't know what you're referencing.
The Kamen Rider Decade opening, which he did.
He did Decade's opening?
Yeah.
I didn't watch much Decade.
I only watched the first episode, but for some reason the OP stuck with me a lot.
Alright. This guy looks like Gact.
How did you know Decade OP? Because when Decade came out, I watched the first episode. And I thought... It's funny, because everybody's always like, oh man, Decade was like the first Kamen Rider you looked at? Really bad start. But I was like, I really liked the first episode. Like, I was into it. I was ready, but I just didn't end up watching it anymore.
I liked Shinkenji a lot. I didn't finish it, but I watched a lot of it. It was pretty cool. The main villain just like sat in an old boat and drank sake.
Alerts. Okay, I'm gonna go over there right now.
Yeah, fix that shit. Fix it. I mean, they're on there and they were. How do we sound right now? Because I added a noise gate and noise suppression to the microphone because I found out there's a way to do it directly.
Just turn on the sound on the laptop and we'll be able to hear right away.
Well, I just want. I mean, we're not gonna be able to hear with this if like the noise has been suppressed or anything.
Go to widget settings.
Oh, it sounds pretty good just through these laptop speakers, so I feel like I did a good thing. Select a lesson.
Donations.
You guys sound great, and the game sounds good as well.
I did it!
There's no indication whatsoever that the alert box should be not working.
We gotta make those shirts, man. That's gonna be our new brand. I'm just gonna do the tutorials while you're figuring that out.
I mean, I turned it off and on.
You must
I made it invisible then visible.
you learn how to fight.
You're free to donate a bit to find out if it works, because like it's literally there's no limit, as far as I know.
Did you know that the left analog stick controls movement? I'm learning so much right now.
So
is this for all the Gact fans who've never played video games before?
that might very well be the case. Counteraction rising!
While you are moving,
Someone said that.
Jump in that direction.
Yeah, we are ready for the punchline!
Alright, this
There's
is...
no use for all your gimmicks! So check this out! Look at you! Okay, somebody just gave 100 bits. I see the notification up there on the screen. I did not hear it, but I see it. It's clearly here on the live video.
I guess it's just
So,
working now.
Yeah, I guess it works now. I didn't hear it come out of the computer though. Usually we hear a bloop bloop from over there.
Maybe
They
then-
heard it. The chat heard it.
Yeah, well that's good. Is our shit?
No, the computer's not muted. I thought that's a security thing. I'm just not gonna watch. These are just all his videos. I don't care. I want to end the tutorial. I want to start playing the game. I also want to change this to Japanese. I don't want to hear English voice actors.
There we go. I heard it that time.
You are
It's just kind of quiet.
Now go loud.
Yeah, I want to hear fucking Gacked, dude.
Fight.
Just rewatched Shiki the other day, in which Gacked plays a vampire. Well, he actually isn't a vampire. Spoiler alert! But he is like the father of the mysterious family who's moved into the village. Japanese pop icon Gacked star in that game. He also did Dirge Cerberus theme song Redemption.
I do vaguely remember that. being
Gacked
a thing.
is like, so for anybody who's never heard of Gacked, he's like one of the like,
This was so sick, dude.
he's like one of the like super long time famous Visual K artists. And if you don't know what Visual K is or visual style, basically it's a style of Japanese rock / like pop rock where the guys get like super glammed up. It's basically glam rock, but Japanese glam rock, where usually they wear like shitloads of makeup and they look kind of like a lot of people say they look like women. It's more like they're trying to look like corpses, but it's like the Japanese idea of corpse paint, you know, like less edgy and more beautiful. Usually with gigantic teased hair. In Gackt's case, he's usually portrayed with like purple hair, so I'm guessing he had purple hair at some point. But Gackt is like a huge fucking anime nerd, so he's always involving himself in like anime and video games and stuff like that, but in very strange places. And there is a Vocaloid based on Gackt called the Gakupoid, who was designed by Kentaro Miura of Berserk. And
What the fuck?
yeah, and it looks just like this character in Bujingai. Like, the Gakupoi looks a lot like this. So I'm thinking this might just be what Gacked actually looks like,
I'm not
to some extent.
opposed to that.
But
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
and Miura did the design for free because he said all the good people of Nico Nico Doga do all their work for free. That's the Japanese version of YouTube. So I did this design for free because he also is a huge fucking nerd. So yeah, it's pretty cool that you fight with like a very like Shaolin-y kind of fighting. Like your sword swinging is
The two swords and like the fucking effects they make.
yeah, it looks awesome.
That's a big cum right there.
It's very Crouching Tiger hero, you know what I'm talking about? With
Yeah,
that
yeah.
style. He could be a Soul Calibur character for sure. So yeah, you were sold this game on the premise that it's basically like Shinobi meets Devil May Cry.
Yeah, it's got that like aesthetic of Shinobi. where
It's shocking how much it looks like Shinobi. Like the first level of Shinobi looks exactly like this.
Yeah, but the combat is much more Devil May Cry because there's actually combos and stuff. And it's very flashy.
It looks pretty fucking fun. I don't know why
lock
neither of
on.
us has ever heard.
Whoa! Whoa! I don't know why you're still being fucking sick!
Hell yes. Hell to the
Alright,
yes.
there is dodging. There's you can lock on. Alright, alright.
We got a big gacked from Mime Big, like big gum, but big gacked.
Yeah! Alright, this is dope. I'm about this already. I found the dodge. We got some iframes. Everything's good now. I wish I knew how I did that fucking cool cutscene thing, because it was sick. Maybe it's a parry. Yeah, fucking die, bitch. I hope they explode into just like papers. It's good. It's good. I don't know if these are like orbs I'm picking up, like DMC's orbs.
Mime thinks that of Log Horizon, which I guess he watched, he checked out because of me talking about it. He said the art is kind of shit, but the story and characters are god tier. No, the art's good. I'm gonna defend it. I'm writing a huge. I'm doing a thing, alright? I don't want to say any more than that. I'm doing a thing. Anyway, enough about this anime bullshit. Although this game is anime bullshit. The fact that it seems to be written by Yosuke Kuroda is really interesting. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna pull up some stuff to make you care about these names that I'm rattling off over here. First, I'm looking this shit up. Who the fuck made this? Okay, so here's the... So the American... I'm gonna fucking grab a box so you can all see this. I have a sneaking suspicion that part of the reason that this game is not particularly well known, at least stateside, is that this is the cover art. And it might take you a second to even understand what the fuck is going on, because like the top half is just the title, and the bottom half is like the main character overlooking a city, and it's like it's a complex looking piece of art, and weirdly looks like it should be vertical. Like this would be a badass cover art if it covered the whole fucking box.
Right.
But it's like weirdly letterboxed, and it looks like shit, and like it's totally unidentifiable from a distance. I mean, the back of the box looks awesome. It looks like exactly the kind of game that it is. It gives me Otogi vibes a little bit.
Well, we should play Otogi.
We should play Otogi at some point.
We do have Otogi too. It's not the first one.
But like, this is even less heard of than Otogi, I think. Bujingai, known in North America as Bujingai the Forsaken City, and in Europe as Bujingai Swordmaster, is an action video game developed by Taito Corporation in collaboration with Red Entertainment exclusively for the PlayStation 2. It was published by Taito in Japan in 2003, releases in North America by BAM Entertainment, and Europe by 505 Game Street, followed in 2004 2005 respectively. It's set in the 23rd century, 100 years after a global catastrophe wiped out a majority of Earth's population. By the way, if it seems like we really like jumped into this game more so than usual, it's because there was no start screen.
Yeah.
We turned on the game, and it was playing like an intro cinematic that we just assumed was like a lead-in thing, and then it just was the game, which is incredible. I know there's a Genesis game that Jesse's always saying, like, when you turn it on, it just starts, and you're just in the first level, and, like, this seems to be similar, and I fucking dig it.
It looks like the camera is inverted and there's no way to change it again. The controls in this game are very similar to Shinobi, and that includes its downfall. This is 2004. There's no excuse for having inverted camera. Disgusting. Select spell. Goken. I don't know how to pronounce that fucking shit. I can shoot a fireball though. I did notice that. This is when I should have read the tutorial, but I didn't. Okie doke. Can I cut this? You can.
What else was Taito doing? Taito's been around forever, right?
Yeah, they've been doing some shit. They've been around the block a few times.
Spicy Salt is asking for some dating advice.
Yeah, Spicy Salt says, how do I ask out the, I feel like he already got it good enough from the chat. He said, I want to ask out the freshman girl in my high school, what do I do? And someone was like, you should just ask her out. There's no trick. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you ask me? I didn't ask anybody out in high school. I've never asked anybody out in my life, actually. It's not a thing that I've ever had to do. Okay, Taito's been around since the early 70s, and they've made basically everything. They made Pocky and Rocky. I like Pocky and Rocky.
I like Pocky. It's good.
Seems like most of their stuff is very, like, Japan exclusive. Like, they don't have a ton of shit that came out. They made Space Invaders. So there is that. They made Lufia.
Yeah! Okay, I think it's like a parry sort of thing. If you attack or they attack, you do a cool combo of parry. Shit.
The fucking slap bass in this soundtrack is fucking rocking right now. This music is like seriously, I'm not even looking at the game. I'm reading a Wikipedia article and I am having fun because this game sounds awesome.
Alright, there's a thing. Locked door. You have to kill some dudes.
They make the Castle Shikigami game. They made Graffiti Kingdom. Half-Life 2 Survivor?
What's that?
What? What even? I'm on a whole fucking research project over here.
I'm doing some cool blocks, man.
Ports and updates. Valve partnered with Taito to release Half-Life 2 Survivor, an arcade game version of the game for the Japanese market in 2006.
What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently there is an arcade port of Half-Life 2 made
how?
by Taito.
How are you gonna
Japan.
beat? How are you gonna beat Half-Life 2 on a quarter? What?
I have no fucking idea.
Look that shit up on YouTube immediately.
Alright. I will do it.
Oh, give me that fucking gold coin. Acquire. No idea what it is. I got 357 little Orby things. Assuming they do something.
Wait, what was it called? Half-Life 2 Revival?
Survivor.
I was thinking of the song from fucking Zombieland Saga episode 3.
Oh god, I just got hit for the first time. Disgusting.
I
mean, that is Half-Life 2. It's like the first part of the game.
It's like, whoa. It's like broken into like, oh my god. It's like, like, it's an arcade, it's like, it's very much an arcade game. Like, it's Half-Life 2 with all these like skins and shit put on it to look like an arcade game. And like, it's broken into segments, so it's like levels. Like, they took it and cut it into pieces, and like, look, like there's like damage indicators over enemies and stuff, and like, you know,
what the fuck? But why?
This is fucking hilarious.
Everyone, I would be way more into Half-Life 2.
You
if it was like
all
that.
need to, if you know Half-Life 2 at all, you need to look up right now Half-Life 2 Survivor on YouTube. I would show it to you, but I think you'd be better off just clicking over and looking at it yourself. What in the fuck? So, like, it seems like Taito was, like, super relevant in the 70s and 80s, because they made, like, Space Invaders and, you know, like a bunch of Bubble Bobble, shit like that. But then, like, from the 90s onwards, they've been, like, mostly kind of obscure games and, like, stuff that rarely comes to America. They made Cooking Mama.
Hell yeah. Mama will help you.
Have you played Cooking Mama? I've always wanted to play it, but I never came into contact with a copy.
What? Alright, it's not a double jump, it's like a fucking glidey shit. The jumping in this game feels very weird, but I'm trying to figure it out right now. Whoa! Alright, yeah, that's very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh my god! In 2014, they also made Left 4 Dead Survivors. So I guess it was a success.
Is this like some thing?
Scripted to do it.
Is Valve just like the arcade guys in Japan?
It looks like they've at this point they've just become like an iOS developer for the last decade.
I mean, I guess that's where the money is.
Yeah, that's what happened to most Japanese companies. Well, what do you know?
I haven't figured out any combos in this game yet. There's only like one combo. I'm assuming there's more. I'm just too dumb to figure them out yet.
Apparently they became a Square Enix subsidiary for a while. Yeah.
Did you look at this and tell me this isn't Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Ready?
Oh yeah. Even though I haven't seen the movie, I know what you're talking about. I did see Hero though, in theaters, and I hated it because I was a kid.
I never saw Hero.
The thing is that Hero was like marketed as like an action movie, like produced by Quentin Tarantino, but like it was that Quentin Tarantino, like, you know, he bought the rights to it and put it in American theaters because he thought it was a good movie, and like it's very much like a slow plotting Chinese drama that's mostly about having pretty colors, and like I just thought it was gay as hell when I saw it, and I was like, no, this sucks. There's not enough. Like, I just wanted an action movie. Like, I thought it was just gonna be dudes with swords cutting each other up, and it was not like that at all. Everyone says it's a great movie, so I'm sure it probably is, but like, you know.
I mean, if you go in expecting something and you don't get it.
Right, and I was 12, so, you know. So basically the reason that Taito doesn't do anything anymore is that they're just a subsidiary of Square Enix now.
Great. There goes my hopes for Bujingai 2.
Oh, it's not.
My very small, basically zero hope.
Bujingai was a 50th anniversary release for Taito. Taking 2 years to create, the development team included Taito veteran Hiroshi Aoki as director, Taito's in-house band Zuntada as music composers, and external talent in the form of Cowboy Bebop character designer Toshihiro Kawamoto and Trigun scenario writer Yosuke Kuroda in their respective roles.
Jesus Christ.
So there you go. That's what all those names I was saying at the start were. Fucking.
Spell
I made a whole
sorry,
video about Toshihiro Kawamoto, and I didn't even know he made this game. Yosuke Kuroda has also written like. Let's read some other shit. Let me fucking find what else he wrote other than Trigun.
Alright, something just happened.
No? Have you remembered nothing? You can reflect the water the same way you can reflect.
He wrote Infinite Revice. He's good as fuck. He's also written a bunch of fucking garbage, but I mean, every anime writer has a very, you know.
Yes, that's it. You can do it.
I'm guessing there's no way to change the language.
Not from in-game. I have to reflect the water?
I mean, is there a non-in-game? Like, I love how the cutscene looked fucking nothing like what was then loaded in. You gotta beat up water, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just jump out. I might just do that. I'm assuming I'll probably have to do that later, but I didn't hear what the cutscene said, so I have no idea how to do it.
Apparently Gax does not speak any actual lines, with the exception of some gameplay lines. So the character is built in his likeness, and he makes like the noises, but that's literally all the voice acting that he does in the game.
How bizarre.
Yeah. But Maya Sakamoto and Norio Wakamoto are in there, and they're both great. I'm trying to figure out like what kind of background. There's an exceptionally detailed Wikipedia article for this game I've never heard of.
It's gonna be one of those things, dude.
Possibly. Critical reception, generally above average, both print and online sources. We got aggregate score of 73% on Game Ranking, 72 on Metacritic. Positively compared to Devil May Cry, Shinobi, Nightshade, Otogi, and Ninja Gaiden. So
Everything you're saying. Almost like we're professional gamers.
oh my god. I guess we might a little bit be. We're more like professional game streamers right now.
Yeah, the stream is definitely the bigger part of this production, which I did not expect. But
By the way, I just like dropped $1,000 trying to fix the fucking heat in this house, so any donations would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm always low on cash. And
yeah, I mean, Tom's poor, so donations are always appreciated.
But Digi's getting dangerously close to poor, and we're not about that life.
I don't know if I'm dangerously close to poor, but I'm dangerously close to having a fucking brain aneurysm from all the random places that my money is taken from. In your case, it's more physical safety. In my case, it's more mental safety that we need the money for.
Yeah. Oh, what's down there? Alright, didn't want to do that, but cool.
Alright, here's the legacy. Media Create sales information shows that Bujingai ranked 19th among all video game releases in Japan during its debut week, selling 43,000 copies. The game sold an additional 51,000 copies in Japan throughout 2004. Prior to its North American launch, Taito had considered creating a sequel. Okamura explained, as long as the energy of the fans remains, Bujingai 2 will see the light of day. For sure. Despite the game's positive reception, Bujingai did not receive a console follow-up. According to a statement made by Oki in 2010, the company wanted to go in certain directions. I did want to make more, but anyway, it didn't really happen. In 2006, Korean film distributor Citus HQ announced that they had acquired the rights to publish a massive multiplayer online role-playing game based on Bujingai, developed by Best Today. Best Today CEO Jun Woo announced at China Joy in July of that year that the game was in full development with plans for release in the third quarter of 2007. However, no other news of the game has since been issued.
I wonder if it's still in production.
Sounds like it was quietly shelved a decade ago.
What a shame.
Alright, now I can scroll up and actually read the chat, since I was just doing research for the last while.
I missed it. Controlling the jump arc is pretty difficult. I don't want to try it with a spell. Not bad. Yes. Select spell. This one. This spell house there.
Did you watch Majora's Mask Guy's new video about Resident Evil? It was really good. I have not yet. But I was going to. Can you imagine this game with current gen graphics? It would not be as good. It looks perfect.
I mean, I'm really... this is like my favorite video game aesthetic. It's just so good.
I can't imagine this game looking better than it does.
Like, this is the kind of graphics I want to make. Like, I want Izumi to look like this. This is like my dream.
I mean, I've always been a big fan of like single color aesthetic, you know, like where everything is just kind of like one really bold, like, you know, Akiyuki Shinbo directing style.
This is just such a good palette because like the enemies are like a reddish against the green, so they pop, but it still has this really good grunge aesthetic, even though it's all a singular kind of. It's good shit, man. It's good.
Yeah. Highly readable.
They got some good explosions. This is fucking sick as hell. I wish I knew how I was doing it. I think it's like when I parry an attack, I just override them. It's great. It's great. Oh, God.
I think I recall Yahtzee talking about him going to Valve HQ and seeing the arcade version of Half-Life 2 there. That's excellent. Is this the Shinobi sequel you mentioned in an older screen? No, this game just happens to look like Shinobi.
Yeah, we do have that.
Yeah, we have Nightshade. Nightshade looks less like Shinobi than this game does.
It does. Nightshade is a totally different beast.
It's a really weird aesthetic.
I don't... From what little I played, I was not nearly as much of a fan. It just seemed like a worse version of Shinobi.
Salmon Sandwich says, I will never understand people saying Log Horizon looks bad. All the environments are unique and take boring fantasy locations and add some form of twist. Wherein the capital is surrounded by crystal-like ice, Akihabara is the Last of Us-esque modern ruins with a fantasy setting twist, etc. The animation at worst is well normal for a TV anime. Agreed.
Haters gonna hate.
How many flips is this dude doing per jump?
A lot.
The genre you're thinking of is wushu. Yes, the crouching tiger genre. Wushu. Spelled wuxia.
Forgot to pronounce it like that. What? Trying to shoot me with a bow? How about no? I don't know what these little orbs do, but I have 750.
Hey bro, where's your Halloween spirit? Play some horror games, turn off the light. It ain't Halloween! I really, really resent this idea that Halloween just gets to own an entire fucking month of the year.
Yeah, I'm as against that as I am that Christmas owns like the next 2 months after.
Christmas is even more unfortunate. But like, Halloween is the night of the dead, you know? But we might do a special Halloween stream, possibly. Play some spooky.
Babadook spook.
Yeah, if depending on whatever Ben says he wants to do. He's asking us if we have plans. None more complicated than playing video games and watching spookies.
Oh God, I just got railed. Jeez, damn.
Does Gigi eat Thanksgiving?
Do I eat Thanksgiving? I suppose so. Norio Wakamoto is kind of overrated. How can you say such a thing? Like, what are you talking about? He's just got an incredibly distinctive voice and everyone loves it. That's why he's known. I mean, like, I could see considering him overrated insofar as he was like the first voice actor that most Westerners like even knew. Because you have to appreciate that up until like 2007, most anime fans in the US would have been watching shit dubbed, like either on TV or like rented from Blockbuster, and like
this is the part of the game that I saw on YouTube and made me buy it. Is this guy? Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's pretty sick.
This is worth $15 just seeing that guy.
Like, not to say that there's not tons of people who are like watching stuff in Japanese even before that, but like for the most part, Western anime fans did not really start knowing Japanese actors until we got to the era of like speed subs and shit. And one of the first shows to get really big in that era was Code Geass, and Norio Wakamoto played fucking Lelouch's dad, Charles V. Bertranian. It was like a super infamous role because he's just like screaming like a madman in all of his lines, and like people who knew voice actors were like, oh yeah, that's Norio Wakamoto. He's like an industry veteran who is fucking, you know, like hardcore otaku would have known him from like Gunbuster, playing Coach. You know, people who know Legend of Galactic Heroes would know him, like, so. And then like he became like a big time comedy voice because his voice is so hilarious. He's just like, and he played Mekazawa in fucking Cromartie High School.
Oh, you got me. You got me good.
And if you watch Ninja Nonsense, he's Onso Komaru, which is a pretty hilarious performance. But I know him best from Bakano because of Kyorori.
Oh man, how far back did I go? Nothing too far back.
Which fucking went into like a fucking fugue state of Norio Wakamoto ranting. Do y'all get a good cut of the t-shirts? Yeah. I mean, if you buy it off of Spreadshirt, we make like $5.
So $2.50 a pop.
Yeah, if you buy them straight from us, which we still have some available, so just contact Tom. I mean, only if you buy the I Am Games shirt. We don't have any other shirts available currently, but like, and also we only have it in white. So if you want a white I Am Games shirt, such as what we are wearing, we have some that we can make. and send to you, and we make a lot more profit that way. But like,
Yeah, we make.
that is the only option for buying from us at present. There's possibility that we will try to sell more stuff directly in the future, but there's a lot of things that have to be done for that. We got $1 in bits from Zixis. I think he said it was Zixis.
I feel like countering is like the way this game should be played, because it like makes everything look really cool.
Galen Harris says, I've given you like $50 already and I'm a patron. What more do you want from me? All of your money! We want all of it! No one should have money but us! No, but thank you for all your contributions. Good guy. When the fuck will you finish Galactic Heroes? I don't know. When does anyone finish Galactic Heroes? I've never heard of anybody finishing it in like a short time frame. It's usually not recommended to even marathon it. People usually say like just watch like 26 episodes at a time, like, because like it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. This game established the relatively niche genre of character gaction.
It's bad. It's bad, and I don't like it.
Oh boy.
The thing I don't like right now is I died against the boss and sent me back pretty far away.
JD talks about Log Horizon every fucking stream. What the fuck? Like, because I just rewatched the show, like...
Yeah. He's been watching it during the last few streams, so it's on the mind.
Yeah, I mean, I finished it, like, almost a week ago. It's just so fucking good, and I want to talk about it for the rest of my life. I guess it's kind of like a making up for lost time thing, because, like, I was really into it when I watched it in 2014, and then, like, over time... I had kind of been in the mindset of like, maybe Log Horizon doesn't deserve a 10 out of 10. Maybe it shouldn't be on my favorites list because like it does have kind of like artwork and pacing issues. But like then I watched it again and I was like, no, I remember exactly why this was a 10 out of 10, and I've underrated it considerably. Digi, did you ever watch Kemono no Soja airing? I watched the first 5 episodes and I did not like it at all. I thought it was super boring. When I said it looked like shit, I meant most of the talking and fighting scenes look kind of janky in movement. When it comes to design, it is really good. I like the way the talking scenes look. I mean, the fights are not, like, beautifully animated in Log Horizon, but, like, I don't know. It would be a lot to ask for, to be honest. The character designs are, like, very detailed. I don't really come to it for action anyways. Bunny Bunny 581 says, at I Am Games, I wore a beanie for the first time today.
You feel cool? You feel better? Does life feel a little bit easier to get through? Because it doesn't for me. It feels exactly the same. Second time that guy just walking in.
Who was he in Legend of Galactic Heroes? He was Ruinthal, or the next guy after him immediately answered. When's the $40 not shit quality version of I Am Games shirt coming? When people can assure us that we could afford that.
Wait, the $40 not shit? What's that?
Like, you know, making one that's not a fucking Gildan shirt.
Oh, I don't know what you fucking rich people are doing talking about how Gildan shirts are shit.
Dude, they're garbage.
They're fine to me.
Do you own any nice shirts?
I don't know, maybe. I don't look. They're just shirts to me, dude.
Well, I mean, have you ever paid more than the normal amount of money for a shirt?
Do I look like someone who could?
Exactly. So you don't understand that if you can pay for nicer shirts, it is a world of difference to wearing nice shirts.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
I didn't believe it until I had it proven to me, and then I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean,
Fuck. Stop jumping around, you little fuck.
we're limited to our means.
Basically, if you want a good shirt, buy a bad shirt first so you have the money to get good shirts.
T-Blade says, that's why I said kinda overrated. I like his voice too, just doesn't become like it does with everyone else. It's kinda reached that Laura Bailey / Troy Baker level of status where they'll just hire him because he's famous. Case in point, Johnny in Guilty Gear. But he's been playing Johnny in Guilty Gear since Johnny in Guilty Gears existed. What was the first game Johnny was in?
The original Guilty Gear.
So, like, that would be like 99, right?
It was like 2001.
I don't think he was like super famous in 2001. Besides, like, okay, the thing to understand about the Japanese voice acting industry is that, like, it is even more like the same voices are oversaturated than the fucking Western dub industry. Like,
alright, I cleaned this guy's clock this time.
If anybody goes to that particular voice acting like group, they're gonna have all the same guys. Like, everybody in Guilty Gear is also in every other game, you know? Like, it's like the same actors appear basically everywhere. Like, find me a show that fucking doesn't have Hiroshi Kamiya in it. It's impossible. Or Miyuki Sawashiro or Hanakana.
Everybody in this game looks dead in the cutscenes.
Thoughts on Yuri Yuri? Not into it.
Oh god, I feel like shit. I made a huge mistake. I told May about this earlier. I've been feeling sick for the last 3 days. I couldn't figure out why. Then I realized I had too much peanut butter and I kicked myself out of ketosis, and now I have to go through keto flu again.
Too much peanut butter? Like, were you just like fucking fisting peanut butter in your
No,
snatch or
I just
something?
didn't. I looked at it. I only looked at the sugar. I didn't look at the carbs, and I was like, of course. How could I fuck this up? Oh, it was a bad call, guys. I made a mistake. Because I kept going to the gym. I'm like, why do I feel like shit after the gym? Like, the last 2 days, I just didn't do anything. I'm like, oh, because when you go through keto flu, you have no energy. Because your body wants to kill itself. Oh, it hurts. I'm in a fog.
How is your sex life?
Non-existent. Thanks for asking. Cock, face, asshole, dick muncher.
I guess he's not happy with it.
Why would I be happy with it? I'm not a monk. I'm a man.
Tom screws Digi on the daily.
Only in the fanfics. The only thing I'm getting screwed by is life.
Imagine the story of Log Horizon done in Akiyuki Shinbo style or even Imaishi's. I can't. I literally can't imagine either of those. And I don't think either would be good. Imaishi would be bored to tears trying to make Log Horizon. Shinbo would just make it barely comprehensible. The directing of Log Horizon is great. I'm going to prove that by doing a thing. You'll all see the thing one day. I always cook my sad ass bacon in the toaster oven so it doesn't splatter all over me since I always cook shirtless. And I guess
Don't talk to me about sad ass bacon.
I guess you can make baked bacon.
Ew. You gotta try that shit.
Mark has spoken.
You gotta put it on the griddle.
Apparently this game has like a parry bar, and I guess Sekiro also does that.
There's a parry bar?
Yeah,
I just thought I was parrying automatically.
No, you got a bar.
Oh.
Can we recommend H games in the Discord? Sure. Why not?
Would we play them? Probably not on
show.
stream.
Yeah.
How do you poop?
Oh, God.
The only bad thing about Log Horizon is the ending. What ending? There is no ending.
That's the point.
I guess so. I mean, the novels are still ongoing, so...
Alright, I got a little portal thing.
It's not impossible that we'll get a season 3 one day.
Temple.
You will face an army of
I just realized stream can't tell. This game has been running at a buttery smooth 60 FPS the entire time. So that makes the game look way better than it does on stream.
I mean, it looks great on stream. Everybody's been saying it looks good.
But like, it looks even better when it's at 60 FPS. I guess this is like a hub. We can just go to different places here.
Two keto failures on the same podcast. I can't wait.
What?
I'm guessing Ben also broke his keto again.
Oh, did he do it again? I know he did it a couple weeks ago because he got sick, but I mean, that seems understandable. Wouldn't hold that against him. Alright.
Stream is 30. It's probably true. I mean, I don't think we can fucking output 60 FPS and have it not be...
Yeah, I don't think we have the bandwidth for that, unfortunately. How do I use my
we are
orbs?
wired in though, right?
Yeah,
We're using power line adapter. Like, I mean,
we could try.
last night I downloaded a fucking episode of anime at like 6 megabytes per second. I was fucking coming, dude. I've gotten up to like 11 megabytes per second torrents here before, which is like...
This training mode? Yeah, training mode.
Is Sengoku Rants a good game aside from being an age game, or is that the only appeal? I would say that's the least appealing. Like, Sengoku Rants is like an insanely hard tactics game that happens to have porn in it. And I think that, at least going by like the way Nate talks about it, it seems like the appeal of Sengoku Rants is that the porn is there to drive you through the insane difficulty and make you want to keep coming back for more to try and get that fucking sweet kiss.
This is weird. I don't understand.
The point where the meme of English video game / anime acting officially died was when Troy Baker and Laura Bailey were both cast as the main male and female roles in 2 Telltale games in a row, Tales from the Borderlands and Batman, as if they couldn't find someone cheaper and probably better fitting. I mean, for what it's worth, Laura Bailey is the only dub actress who I can tolerate at all. So if they have to put her in literally everything, I don't even mind. Because if I have to hear a dub... Now the weird part is that it's Telltale games, like they don't have to resort to fucking those regular ass fucks. I mean, I guess they should have, because they did die. I listened to the 7-hour Omega Ruby analysis in one day, and now I can't stop thinking in Irish. Excellent.
Doesn't seem like a big problem.
Is he Irish or Scottish? I guess he must be Irish because that guy said so. He sounds nothing like Matthew Matosis though. Very different Irish, I guess.
To jump perpendicular to the wall. This technique is called the triangle jump. If your timing is good, you can scale towers like this one.
Where can I buy the Plebe and the Weeb behind the scenes? I can't find it anywhere. We have not released it anywhere besides to Kickstarter backers, so nowhere at present. The Plebe and the Weeb has been like all we really concerned ourselves with was just getting the goddamn thing done, and no further thought has been put into it because Jesse's life is still a waking nightmare. So I guess I could look into it at some point. I have so many fucking irons in the fire that I forgot that even happened. I still don't even know how I'm gonna get the fucking Blu-rays printed.
Now that you know the basic fighting techniques, it is time.
With the right bitrate, you should be able to stream 60 FPS.
You must listen very carefully. If you are attacked from the front, you will automatically.
Yo, I dropped Oni as a rec in the Discord. What y'all think? I am curious about Oni. We don't have it though. Right now, we're not really trying to like buy any new games because we own a fuck ton of games, and like we have tons of games that would be appropriate to play on the show. So it's like spending any more money at this juncture. Like the IM Games has like I would say it has more or less broken even on the monetary investment, not necessarily on the time investment, but like it's a money sink trying to get this thing off the ground, and spending any more money on games, it would just be foolhardy when we have such a huge collection. Yeah, if you want to recommend us games, that's fine, but like we have games for fucking days right now. I would rather just like take pictures of the games we have and post them in the Discord, which you can join by clicking on the link below the stream. I'll take some pictures, Tom. I still want you to make your list of your Steam games. Did you see that I did? That I posted my.
They're very hard to read, but they are there.
I don't think they're hard to read.
There's a lot of games on that second page.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to approach that mess of shit.
Damn, just fuck my questions, huh? I've just read your question. The shitty Asian accent tutorial voice is hilarious, indeed.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Why don't you just have Jesse move in with you like Tom did to save him from the furnace room? Or is the situation more complicated? It's more complicated than that. He doesn't literally live in the furnace room, by the way.
Now it's time to learn how to attack. We'll start with the basic fight.
But yeah, I mean, if Jesse was just worried about himself, it would not be, it would be nothing. Jesse can take care of himself. It's the fact that he has a lot of shit riding on his shoulders that makes him situation shitty. I don't want to say too much about his life because he does not like having his personal life talked about, but like,
all of your attacks can be performed while you
if it was just him, it would definitely not be an issue. Tom does not have anybody relying on him. That's why he went to live in a car. Now I'm gonna finally reward myself for doing such a good job on stream by actually eating my dinner. That I forgot was there. This is why we were late. This right here is why we were late.
Is it worth it?
No.
I wonder if Wendy's responded to my thinly veiled threat.
Both offensive and defensive magic spells. You can select the spell that you want to.
It was 5:20, and I was like, "Let's pop over to Wendy's."
Select inventory. Press the
Everything went wrong.
unleash your spell.
Robert Floyd responded and said, "Where's the Iron Game stream?" Man, Robert Floyd, you gotta learn patience. Alright, you're always asking, where's the shirt at that you bought? Where's the stream coming? I'm telling you, things, I'm not Goku. I can't do instant transmission. I gotta ship it. I gotta print the label. There's stuff. There's stuff. Also, I keep waking up really late because I suck at life. Alright? But I got you, fam. I got you.
Your survival depends on how well you master these techniques.
This is all stuff I already knew. I was hoping there'd be like more information and not just the obvious shit you can tell from playing the goddamn game.
Combo attacks.
Give us the Steam account so we can gift games. We will do that.
That's a great idea, actually.
Wait, I think I'm just Digibro. If you see Digibro on stream and it's got a lolly drinking a bottle of vodka, that's me.
Start a combo attack. Immediately follow this by pressing the square, triangle, circle, or X buttons to perform
X's combos too? Alright, I didn't know that.
Someone's asking about doing Final Fantasy X. There's no way we would play that on stream because it's a 50-hour game. I absolutely want to eventually, within my life, do a big analysis on the game because I planned one. I think it's deserving, and I haven't found another game that I have as much to say about yet.
What's better, Final Fantasy X or Log Horizon?
Log Horizon.
I'm done with this shit.
Jesse has to pay for his blind sister's eye surgery by winning a children's card game. You ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, you bet. That was like the last thing I did before becoming a man.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The last thing I did before I had to
Put
go
that
get a
damn
job to
game
pay off
list in the
student
disc
loans.
so we can vote on games. I will. Like I said, like I have my list of Steam and PS4 games that I hand wrote and taped to the wall. Now I'm hoping to get Tom to do the same. Do you have as many as I do?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it only took me like 20 minutes. But like, once we do that, then I'll take pictures of everything, post it online. Do you have digital games anywhere other than Steam?
I have a couple on Origin and a couple on GOG. But like 3 each.
Yeah. Because I've also got my digital on other consoles up there. I did not get all the PS3 games I have, because I have a bunch, like, most of the PS3 digital games I have were like stuff my friends bought on there to play. So.
Looks like that Tenchu level.
Yeah, it also looks like a level in Otogi.
It also looks like Shinobi.
Yeah.
It also looks fucking sick.
FunnyBunny581 says, I am an adult now and have never eaten healthy before. Any tips on making the conversion easier? Eat vegetables.
Yeah.
And that's like the main thing. I mean, the funny thing about eating healthy is that it's not terribly different from eating regular. It's just a matter of like your portions, and don't like slather everything in gravy and fucking eat like,
Just don't have sugar.
mix it up.
If you don't have
Yeah.
sugar, you're like 90% there.
Yeah, like don't drink soda. Don't eat stuff that, like, anything that's bad for you can fucking tell. You can look at it and be like, that looks bad for me, you know?
Just go keto.
I mean, if you're trying to lose a ton of weight, then you can go keto. But, like, if you're just trying to eat healthier, it's just a matter of not eating unhealthy. I mean, you can eat soup. Like, anytime I go online and I'm, like, looking up health food, it's, like, health food, you know? It's always, like, everything is just quinoa and fucking berries, and I'm like, no. Not into that. But, like, in terms of just, like, don't eat a full sub every day. Like, literally, my weight fluctuates between like 160 and 180 all the time, and when I get up to 180, it's usually because I'm drinking a lot of beer and soda and eating subs every day. And if I stop doing that, I go down to 160 naturally, without changing like what I eat, just like how often I eat bad. And yeah, so just don't eat bad. Don't buy full bags of Reese's Pieces.
Very big mistake. I've done that too many times.
I had never had that experience in my life, so when May started asking me for those, because I guess that was normal for her, I was just like, oh my god, someone's giving me permission to buy a bag of Reese's Pieces and doesn't care that I eat like 80% of them in the first day? Sick. I can't stop. If the bag is there, it will be. Like,
yeah.
I turn into Tom who has no portion control.
No.
Like, that's how I am with candy. If candy is around, I will just power through all the candy. That's usually the only way that all the Halloween candy gets eaten back when such a thing was a thing. Which is the best, Redbubble, Spreadshirt, or the one you guys use on the PCP? Don't we use Spreadshirt on PCP?
I think we have Palm as well, or something.
We literally have no idea. We're completely new to this.
I know Teespring, most YouTubers use Teespring, that is integrated with YouTube, but you have to order in bulk.
Give us some chapter outlines for your Final Fantasy X analysis. I actually do have a chapter outline thing written somewhere. I could go grab it if you're that curious. Final Fantasy X failed to endear me to its characters, which saddens me because I think I enjoy its game systems. I love the characters in Final Fantasy X.
Oh, fucker. Get over here and fight, you asshole. I understand the game system a little bit more. Oh.
I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Until Digi described No Game No Life as Yu-Gi-Oh! For Loser Otaku, and it's fucking great. Excellent. It's funny because I just saw that was my description of No Game No Life on Mal, because I have like little Mal reviews like in my tags for every show on Mal. But like, if I were to write it now, I would be much more kind in my phrasing, because at the time I had given it like a 7 and thought it was more like okay, and now I'm like, well, fucking No Game No Life is ill.
I knew from the beginning No Game No Life was ill. I didn't even know second watch.
Digibro profile info. You know me, anime dude, plays action RPGs and platforms. Where was that at? That sounds like something I would say as my profile, but where? Oh, on Steam. Yeah. That would make sense.
I was like cutting the fucking bed. I think I'm going in circles, man. Where's my map?
Baby step number 1, switch from chips to popcorn, from soda to juice. Is popcorn, like, not bad for you? I thought popcorn was, like, terrible for you.
Popcorn's fine as long as you don't cover it in butter.
Well, if it doesn't have butter, it's disgusting.
You can put, like, other things on it.
Instead
you
of
can put cheese on it.
Instead of going to popcorn, do what we've done and switch to fucking beet chips. Beet chips are fucking delicious. They are expensive, though. Well, it's $3 for a bag, but the bag is not going to be as big as a bag of corn chips or potato chips. But fucking beet chips are really good, and you get them near the hummus. Get some beet chips and some hummus. Fucking sick. I am on Earth Maiden Arjuna diet. That's hilarious.
Does anybody who played this game know what these fucking orbs are for? I was hoping the tutorial would tell me, and it didn't.
Would Final Fantasy X analysis be just a long video or something similar to SAO sucks slash Ashes? I mean, I don't know. Like, I was going to just write a novel. Like, I was going to make it just a book analyzing it, and if I were to do it as a video series, without question, it would be broken into parts. Because there is just no reason to not break a video into parts. Like, it's totally financially untenable for me to not break videos into parts. Yeah. But it would probably be really long. Is it possible to watch Twitch in low bandwidth audio only? I don't know. You must be on a phone or something. Did you? What happened to your blog? I can't log in. Like, around the time when I moved, when I started my trip around the country, I like got signed out somehow, and I cannot figure out the password, and the email is like my fucking old Yahoo email that I abandoned ages ago. So yeah, I just straight up cannot figure out what is even the fucking password. And that's why I stopped posting.
It's a bummer.
Because I used to post all the text versions of my videos on the blog. So like if you went to the blog, it would be like the video and then the text version under the video. But when that happened, I just started linking to Google Docs that I write them in. Because I write them in Google Docs anyways, regardless. Why is Ben and Tom doing keto if they're not fat?
That's the
Fat is
That's a relative
is
term.
always it's always relative to whoever feels it.
Until I'm 0% body fat, I am still fat.
I mean, you can't be less than 3% body fat and be alive.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
I think Jack's grade is like
Who said I
think
wanted
he
to
said
be
he's
alive
like
anyways?
5 or 6% body fat or something.
Something like that.
On the topic of breaking videos into parts because dollars. Am I the only one who watched that new Matthew Matosis video was just thinking how stupid it was of him not to make each one a separate video so people can get small freaking videos from him instead of one? No, you're wrong, because part of the message of the video is the way it's presented. Like, that video is a fucking art piece. What do you think of Lindsay Ellis's videos? Boring. The problem with her videos, I actually figured this out the other day when I was talking about my own content strategy, like what bothers me about them, is that, and this also applies to Joseph Anderson's videos, is that to me, if you're gonna make a big long analysis of something, it has to deserve a big long analysis. I don't want to watch a big long analysis of just anything just for the sake of being thorough, because I don't care about being that thorough about every single thing. So like with Matthew Matosis, his videos have been like all the 3D Zelda games, all the 3D Mario games, all the Metal Gear games, you know? Like it's these big interesting projects that have like an obvious reason to be done. And then like when he's not doing that, it's like very individual, and or he'll do like a gigantic video about a Souls game or something. It's like it's a game that you know you can get 6 hours of interesting things to say about. And like for me, I'm trying to enter a phase where I'm trying to make like bigger, longer videos again, but like to do it only about shows I think deserve to be talked about at that length. And, you know, I think of, like, how the Red Letter Media videos that kind of, like, started this whole trend, you know, they were about the Star Wars prequels. It was, like, a big deal. And so, when I see, like, Lindsay Ellis makes, like, a 45-minute video on Bright, I'm just like, I don't care about that movie enough to watch 45 minutes about it, you know? Or fucking Joseph Anderson makes, like, a 45-minute video about just some game I've never heard of, you know? Like... yeah, so I guess that's my issue. How do you feel about that, Tom?
I don't watch Lindsay Ellis enough to comment, but in general, analysis videos are gay. Making art is the best critique of art possible. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
I love the video too, but it just seemed like a bad idea for him monetarily. I don't think he's really that concerned about the money. I mean, his entire career trajectory is a bad idea for him monetarily, but he, you know, he makes his Patreon bucks. You're anorexic way before 3% body fat, hell now. I mean... well, here, my phone ringing somewhere.
Your phone is on.
I bet it is California.
How do you keep losing?
Suspected spam caller. Why don't you just reject it instantly? Why even put through a call from a suspected spam caller?
Probably because they can't prove it definitively. Like they think your mom's a spam caller, and you just never get calls from your mom again.
I get calls from spam constantly that doesn't even have that message on it.
Well,
anyway,
it's not in the system yet, I suppose.
If you're like ultra super fit, you can get down to 3% body fat. Like, it's not necessarily like a healthy thing to sustain forever, but there was that guy on Ninja Warrior who was the 3% body fat guy. Do you remember that?
I never watched Ninja Warrior.
Oh man.
My cousin was on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, that did happen recently.
But she lost.
Well, I mean, almost everybody loses.
You know, it was more of like she had cancer and then she like got like fucked and then
Whoa.
she was so it's like
I don't know why I can't break these. Oh, okay,
Tom, were you asking about the orbs? Do you want me to read this guy's explanation of the orbs?
Yes, please. I would love to know.
Okay.
About the orbs.
Blue orbs. These are dropped by enemies and are found in the ground and pots as well. They help you level up WoW. Red orbs. These are found in boxes and are rarely dropped by enemies. These replenish your magic meter. Gold orbs. These are mainly found in boxes and rarely dropped by enemies. These replenish your health.
Alright.
You level up?
I know you can level up spells. I just haven't found. I don't know where you level up things. There's just no like.
Is it in your start menu?
Maybe it's somewhere in the temple once you finish a level or something. I just haven't found it yet.
Tom, how are you feeling about this game?
It's fucking sick.
Excellent.
It's like it's not as good as like a Devil May Cry. At least not yet. Because again, I haven't leveled up anything, so there could be way more depth to the combat than I'm aware of yet. There's only a few combos that I've figured out, and like it's a little bit more floaty than I would prefer. Oh my god, and you can get hit hard. The biggest problem for me right now is that your dodge doesn't break out of attack animations. So like once you're attacking, you're committed, and you can't stop it. Which isn't exactly unfair. It just means you gotta be better at the game. But since I'm not like a master yet, there are a lot of times where I get myself in a situation I'd rather not be in. Where in some games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, your dodge breaks you out of any animation. So even if you fuck up like that, you can quickly fix it. In this game, you can't. So it demands a little bit more of you. Which, I'm lazy, so I prefer when it doesn't do that. But it's not a game-breaking thing by any stretch of the imagination.
Digi, are you still drawing? No.
Boo!
I don't remember a time when I was drawing.
You were drawing a comic, probably what they're referring to when you talked about it on the
He might be... Okay, so like, at the start of the year, there was this whole idea that I... Did you know about Digi Daily? Did you see that when it was going on?
I saw pieces of it, but I didn't really give a shit.
The conceit of Digi Daily was this idea that I wanted to teach myself how to draw in 2018. And that the way I was going to do this is me and May were going to draw for 2 hours every day. And we were going to listen to podcasts while we do it, but because there wasn't enough podcasts to listen to, I would just make my own podcast, and I was going to have a 2-hour podcast for every day of January so that we could draw for 30 days, and I figured by the end of a month I would have gotten used to drawing enough that I would have fun with it, and like I would know whether or not I wanted to continue. So I started making these 2-hour podcasts, and the idea of them is that I would just take a random topic and just go as long as I could, and then just swap them out every time. And I would do 12 topics per podcast, give or take, and then those would be released as individual videos once a day for the entire year. Because 30 days of 2-hour podcasts could be split into 365 days of like 5 to 10 minute short podcasts. And that's what Digi Daily was. So when the first one came out, it was like, yeah, we're gonna be like, you know, I'm explaining this concept like, yeah, we're gonna draw every day all year. And I drew for the first day and at no other point. And people still ask me like, are you still doing the drawings? Are you still doing the daily draw? No, I never did it. Well, just like I did not finish Digi Daily. Like,
you're a baby.
I recorded like 6 or 7 of those 2-hour podcasts in the span of like 2 days, and then never recorded anymore. And so when they started coming out as the individual videos, it lasted like a month and a half, and then it was just, they were just out. And like a lot of people were really like disappointed that Digi Daily didn't continue. And I'm like, yeah, but like the only reason I didn't announce that it wouldn't go is because I thought maybe if they were successful, I would continue recording them, but they weren't really that successful. So I just like kind of let it die. And it was just bad communication between me and the audience in every way.
Hear that? It's bad conveyance.
Yeah, it's bad conveyance. Watched Nisekoi? No. Jalen Harris, how holy shit, how did Jeff get 700k subs? I could have sworn he had like 500k a month ago. What the fuck is wrong with people? It's the algorithms, dude. You just gotta play the game.
Yeah, Jeff plays the game. So of course he's gonna be successful.
Like, you could do it.
Anybody could do it. Just have no integrity and have no soul.
Yeah. The best thing to come out of Digi's Daily was Munchie's tear outfit. I don't even remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that. I think that was the worst idea you ever had. Well...
I need to take a shit soon. I feel it brewing. The Wendy's shit.
It sounds worse every time I hear it. Why did Digi plan to listen to himself talk? Because in that, I mean,
have you like listened to this man? You know, you love the sound of your own voice.
Well, you know, the funny thing about it is I really don't.
Yeah, bullshit.
I hate listening to myself talk unscripted alone. Like, I can't watch any of my vlogs back after they've been published. I cannot listen to my solo podcasts. If there's a second person there, I love it. And I think that's why I was convinced it would be fun. Like, I love listening to Digibros. I can listen to these podcasts. It doesn't matter if I'm doing most of the talking. It's the way I talk when I'm talking to someone versus how I talk by myself.
So what are you screwing up? Is there
Like-
a different part of the puzzle I gotta do or something?
Like, when I'm talking to somebody, I just feel like I hold myself to a little bit higher of a standard of entertainment value and, like, trying to communicate well, whereas when I'm alone, it just sounds like I'm fucking struggling to push a turd out of my face, you know? And, I can't take it.
Every day.
Why I rarely cover games. DigiDaily number 32. Now I am games exist. That's because I don't have to play the games.
It's making me all do all the dirty work.
If anything, I would think that that video probably explains exactly why I am games exists. What shows have you seen this season, Digi? I've watched Zombieland Saga. First 2 episodes were really great. Episode 3 was not. Other than that, I watched the first episode of Uchiga Made Whatever, which is cute. And was there a third show? Oh, of course, Sword Art Online Alicization. Shit fart bong line alcoholism, as I like to call it.
Is that really what the show's called? I mean, the first thing you said, not what you just said.
Yeah.
Why?
Sword Art Online Alicization.
Is that even a word?
No.
Does that have anything to do with the show itself?
There's a girl named Alice.
Oh god, it's such a Sword Art Online thing.
DigiDaily disappointment of Rick and Morty fan base then became popular. Did it? Does that have a lot of views? It's really fucking weird when you have a video that blows up when you're not paying attention. Dude, like, every PCP lecture is just, like, way bigger than, like, I would have realized. You know, yours has, like, 60,000 views.
So weird.
Mine has over 100,000.
Ben's are huge.
Yeah, Ben's are fucking giant. They're not on the PCP channel, but they are fucking massive. Nate's are also pretty big that he posts on his own channel. But the biggest problem lecture is the biggest video on the PCP channel with like over 100, like 109K or some shit like that.
I'm legitimately surprised 60,000 people cared enough to watch that video.
It's really good.
I didn't think there were 60,000 people who played Guilty Gear. I'm assuming probably people who didn't play watched it. But, yeah. It makes me wish I had tried harder at the end and just let it all go to shit. Oh god. Alright, so this level's getting a little grindy, not gonna lie.
I'm trying to find this Rick and Morty video.
What am I supposed to do? Yeah, fucking die. Whoa.
Yeah, there's number 32. Why are they recording? I can't find a Rick and Morty DigiDaily. Are you sure this was a DigiDaily video?
Whoa. Fucking tigers with swords. Oh god, they hit hard. Fight me, bitch.
Digi, do you ever plan to write more about Monogatari? I don't know. Maybe. Does Jeff know his cosplay camgirl girlfriend is just extorting him for his YouTube money? She makes more money than he does, dude. She does not need his money.
Oh my god, these tigers fuck you up, dude.
Tom should watch Gridman. I've been hearing enough people in the Discord have convinced me that like we probably would enjoy Gridman. Me and Tom, I mean. I want more RadCon just so we get more lectures. Me too, dude. As Kajoro Bitterthorn said, we all do, my dude. They're not easy to do though, because you have to have like a subject you have extensive knowledge on
Fuck.
that would be funny to talk about in a lecture.
Alright, these tigers suck dick. I'm dead because this fucking tiger keep hitting me from off camera. This game just lost the point because of really bad enemy design.
Did you just die for the first time?
No, I died to the first boss. It's the second time. I don't know how much progress I lost, but I really don't like this level at all. It's really annoying. The Reaper of Souls may pass after the harvest is complete. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm taking a shit. You can play / just keep talking to chat.
Okay.
Ugh.
The Final Fantasy lecture would be so much easier to return to if it were timestamped. Is it not? I'm shocked to hear that because Nate timestamped the living fuck out of the other one. I'm gonna go look right now because I don't believe you. I'm seeing super extensive timestamps in the Final Fantasy lecture. There might not have been timestamps when it first came out, possibly. Maybe he had to go back and add them. But I am seeing extremely extensive timestamps in the description. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Why does she even keep him around then? It can't be genuine love, can it? I don't know, dude. I don't think they have any problems with each other. I don't know. Mark, you follow Jeff's girlfriend on Twitter. Why do they like each other?
They both have big titties. They both like weed.
They do like weed.
They both have pretty trash taste.
I don't know, they're
Both
Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah.
That's about. They're perfect for each other.
The Canadianness was all they really need.
I mean, she's like a famous cosplayer, so like,
Yeah.
wouldn't anime YouTuber date a famous? Isn't that obvious? Like,
It does seem kind of obvious.
they both want that fame.
So I guess my Rick and Morty thing was in the rest of Digi Daily, but are you saying it got big? Because it's only got like 18,000 views, which is not a lot. And I mean, it's just one small part of a gigantic video. Guys, remember when Jeff was a PCP member for a while? I know, dude. It's weird. Shit, is Jeff plus 10 Laid the Canadian version of Digi in May? No.
No.
Not really all that similar at all. I mean, first of all, May is not a famous cosplayer. So, I don't know where we even came to this idea. Maybe it's just a cute girl that I met online. It was like, hey, I like your raps. And I was like, oh shit, no one's ever said that to me before. Mark seems to care a lot about Digi and May.
Oh, hi,
I
Mark.
ship them hard. They're one of my ships.
Oh.
Apparently we're one of
I
Mark's
have
ships.
stock.
What?
Mark ships me and May really hard.
Do you need to ship it if it's canon?
Is Mark implying that Jeff and Ten Laid are the Brangelina of AniTube?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I missed something.
Isn't the anime man and his girlfriend? I know, it's the other guy. Or is it
The anime man and what's her fuck?
Porky the Pig?
What?
The fuck is her name?
The anime girl.
The anime girl.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
They're also.
The AniTube couples. Famous AniTube couples.
God, I can't think of a worse topic of discussion on Earth.
That's what happens when you leave and people start talking about Jeff.
Aki Kiris.
Aki Dearest. There you go. What is the origin of Mark? What the hell did I miss? Every single stream, apparently. It's
Mark's-
oh hi, Mark.
Ohayo gozaimasu!
Animated woman.
How dare you assume her gender?
You know Goblin Slayer is trash when even Jeff thinks so? No, Jeff will often like overstate how trash something is so that he can have an extreme opinion, such as that. I mean, Goblin Slayer is trash, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's like unfathomably terrible. It just seems really mediocre to me. I don't know what his opinion is, but
How much do you think being drunk improves the anime experience?
being drunk doesn't necessarily improve anime to me unless I'm with friends. Like, and it's
It improved Mad Bull 34.
Yeah, like Mad Bull was a great drunk experience. Like, when I'm drunk, I don't think it's as easy to like concentrate on reading subtitles and like paying attention to shit. Like, getting high changes the anime experience considerably. But
I don't know what these orbs are for. I'm very confused.
remind Tom that he's games.
I never forget that I'm games. It's my guiding principle, my North Star.
I rewatched the Mad Bull Cleve and Reed recently, and seeing Jeff genuinely have fun being a PCP, despite knowing what he would turn into, felt so weird. It's not weird to me.
If Jeff's whole persona, not even persona, but like Jeff's behavior that entire week felt very forced to me at times.
The thing is that Jeff is somebody who very much likes to be friends with as many people as possible. He likes to hang out with every group to have a collection of all the names of people he knows, and he talks about it a lot. Like, he had just come back from MagFest, and he wouldn't stop talking about how he had met Team 4-Star and fucking other people I don't know. That's the thing, he'll often, like, name drop people and be like, yeah, I met, like, Mega 64, and I'm like, I don't know who those are. Like, but, like, you know, when we were, like, he very much, like, was, like, attempting to match the tenor of the comedy styles of the people there, which was Munchie screaming racial epithets constantly, and Jeff was kind of like, haha, I say nigger too, and it was like, well,
Ban.
Yeah.
you don't have to. And, like, outside of doing things, we did not talk to him much. I mean, that was, like, kind of, Radcon 2 was kind of what made me feel like Jeff was not going to be a long-standing member of the group, because he clearly did not fit in, and it was weird.
He wasn't a brony. Why would you?
That's true, he
why
wasn't a
would you
brony.
put somebody who was never a brony into PCP.
That's a very good point.
Every time it has happened,
It's true. The only PCP members who have joined and stayed were bronies, so it only makes sense. Bronies only. This is quickly turning into the shit on Jeff stream. I feel like every time I open my mouth, it turns into the shit on Jeff stream.
It's just fun.
It's fun because he's so easy to pick on.
I have nothing against Jeff.
It's
Personally.
just the embodiment of everything about YouTube that is deplorable and it was like phallus.
He does look...
What
He's
the?
a flaccid man.
Oh.
Victor came up with that term to the... Victor like... After meeting Jeff, Victor came up with the term flaccid man to describe a certain like body type and demeanor. And when you look at him thinking about it, you're like, oh, I see that Jeff is a flaccid man. I would also say Arcada is another good example.
Fuck!
Noah Caldwell Gervais
This guy's
kind
gonna
of
kill
has
me
the same
again.
look. Just like you know it when you see it. You'll know what I mean, Tom. I guarantee you're gonna look at Jeff with this in mind. You're gonna be like, oh, I understand now.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just something in a million years I never would have like considered.
That's really fucking funny. Victor was just like, yeah, dude, it's like the flashing man.
Cut the bamboo and release 100 green orbs. Oh,
this is the day
really?
of the flaccid man.
I have to collect 100 of these green orbs, but they constantly go away. So I have to just like get them really fast. This is I hate this game. What a terrible idea. What a terrible idea.
Gigi, why is that impossible coming over?
I don't know.
Tell that guy to come over.
Alright, this sucks.
Digi, I watch a Brony video of you and it looks to me like a parody. Which video?
I don't think there's anything I made from that time that I am in any way still proud of. I mean, that's pretty average for artists and
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way, but like, not because I think it was like bad for what it was, but just that it was not good compared to what I can do now, you know? It's like embarrassing to look back on, because I mean, anything from, for me, it's usually like a range of like a year or two that like I can still tolerate my shit. Anything more than like a year or two old, there's some kind of problems. Unless it's something I did that was really good. That was like shooting above my capabilities. Because like, sometimes I go back and read old blog posts I wrote in like 2010 and I'm like surprised that I think it's even more interesting than a lot of shit I would write now. Like, the voice is different and it's way more stiff, but like every once in a while when I was like really inspired and had a really good idea, I wrote something that just exceeded the fact that I wasn't an amazing writer, you know? But like, it's like those things are special. I could definitely go through my whole, like, everything I've ever made, and I could probably put together, like, a ranked list of what I consider to be, like, the best from every era and shit. Like, I'm sure there's some pony videos that I would go back to and be really proud of, but they would be, like, maybe 3 amongst the 100 that I made, you know?
Right. Oh my god, dude, this sucks.
Measurement Man and his nemesis Flaccid Man. What exactly is happening right now?
See the number at the bottom going down?
Yeah.
Every time I cut something, I get an orb.
Yeah.
I need to collect 100 of them to open the door. And the only way to get them is to cut like really thick bamboo trees that give you 50 at once. But the longer I try and find one, the lower I get. And it's really a terrible mechanic, and I cannot believe I'm forced to do this in an action game. So I have to just keep cutting the small ones, hoping I don't lose too many, looking for another big one. And it's really
I mean, surely
stupid.
you can afford to burn down like 20 in your search, right? You don't have to cut every fucking beanstalk.
No, but...
By which I mean bamboo shoot. Or somebody says something. Like, just only attack ones that are in clusters so that you don't have to have it fucking individuals.
You just gotta find the big one. The big ones give you 50. But I'm back at the beginning of the level. And I already cut a few down on my way to the end of the level, so there might not be any, and I might be fucked. Give me that. I don't know what these do, but I got 4 of them.
Yeah, this is like something that sounds like it would have been cool on paper, but not in practice.
No, this just sounds cool. Alright, well I've gone through the entire level, and there's none left, so I might have to just die and restart. Now I'm just trying to just keep my number up. Oh, this is so bullshit. If I drop below 50, I'm fucked.
Alright, well, I mean, enemies don't respawn over here. So if there's an enemy over here, that means you haven't been this way. This music kind of reminds me of the Findrana Dress music from fucking
Okay,
There you
100.
go.
Oh, do I have to make it back to the door with over 100? Are you kidding me? Oh, this sucks. This is the worst game of all time. I actually want to stop playing. Like, this is a terrible mechanic. It's so far away. I'm gonna drop back to like 60 or 70 by the time I get back to the door. There's no way.
It's no use!
Yeah.
Get those ones right there. That's a fucking big boy. I don't know. I think there might be enough near the door that it might be possible.
I don't know, dude. Like, they go down so fast. Like, I'm already down 10.
Is that the door?
Yeah. There's not enough around. Like, I just gotta keep...
There's like a freebie right here.
Alright, 90. 91. Like, it's just... I'm not gaining anymore. I'm just staying where I am. Because they go down as soon as you collect them. Yeah, no, I gotta keep looking.
There's a ton right here, dude.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get over 100. Like, because I gain them and they go right back down. You pick up one and you lose one. I'm not gaining anymore. Like, I'm down to 87. I've got a net loss. I gotta find another big one that gives me 50 and then run back here.
I think you might be fucked.
Yeah, this is.
I think you really have to like plot a course through this in a way.
This is absolutely bullshit. What a terrible mechanic. Yeah, I just gotta keep going and hope they respawn or something.
Michelle says, Tom, show coochie, please. Tom, please spare some coochie.
Aiming?
Remember this level, gotta get 100 orbs annoying.
Spell Geikus. Level 1 can be used. God, that would be amazing.
I cannot fathom living with a woman who's your partner while she sells pics of her tits on the internet. Like, I respect her hustle, but Jeff needs to be thinking about his relationship. Hey, if he's comfortable with it, then whatever. Just because you can't fathom it doesn't mean that he can't. Where are Digis videos?
It sounds kind of weird, but then you think about it, it's like there's just a bunch of dudes who want what I have. It probably makes them feel like a god.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, if he just never said anything about it, I think people would just assume, like, I guess he's just okay with it. But every once in a while, he does have to be like, oh, guys are always telling me, like, that, like...
he has a lot of meltdowns on Twitter about it. Like,
Does he?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, then he's an idiot.
Well,
I take back what I said. He's a little
bitch. The meltdowns that he has is that he'll say, like, people all think they're, like, getting something over on me because of this, but it's like, I'm totally okay with it. And it's like, well...
No, you're not.
If that's the case, then you don't need to prove that constantly by assuring.
I mean, the only reason she's doing it is because Jeff encouraged her, quote unquote, encouraged her. This would be a good way to play. She wasn't selling the pictures like on Patreon like she is now until she met Jeff.
Oh, there you go. I guess Jeff's the one who impacted her shilling.
Yeah, like, I respect that, but it is really weird. We live in a weird time. Like, I just, like, wouldn't be comfortable as a woman having all of that out on the internet in public. Like, good luck ever trying to get another job.
I mean, you don't need to at that point. You're set for life.
No, you're not. Not for life. You're set for, like, another, probably 4 years until you get too old.
No. All you gotta do. Oh no, no, you fucking whore! I will kill you!
No, you're good, dude. You're good, dude. You're good, my dude. You are a good dude. You're good,
my God!
Do you think this game is video worthy? It's hard to say at this point.
It was until this part.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucked ass.
Big come.
Nah, that was like a...
Jalen Harris asks, how is Victor not a member of the PCP yet? It seems like such an obvious inclusion. Victor does not do online shit. Victor is not an internet boy.
No.
Like, what makes the PCP what it is
Victor has
that
an
we are
actual
internet
marketable
boys.
skill.
Yeah. Cat Capaldit just subscribed with Twitch Prime, so
Yeah!
yeah, all your suffering was,
Give me your money!
all your ninja suffering, as Simon put it, was work.
This is more like Shaolin suffering.
Shaolin suffering.
Yeah.
Will you turn this into a ninja game channel? I am ready for it. Maybe.
What?
He always says, I masturbate to the person you fuck. Feel inferior yet? Hehehe. Exactly.
Alright, look at this guy. It's like a real boss.
There's a lot of big cum, a lot of UR games, a lot of fucking... Oh yeah, Jalen Harris hitting us with the full big cum face emote spread. Hell yeah. That's a lot of big cum.
I don't know what this spell does.
Please make big on tier 1 Bible Bumper.
I don't know what... I'm just glowing blue now.
The only reason we haven't made big cum tier 1 is that we have no idea what to make the other emotes. I mean, we were talking about doing a Ninja Suffering emote, but that has not happened yet, because, as we've said many times, IM Games is too much of a time and money sink to be worth the amount of effort that we put into it. So, like, it's like a real catch-22. It's like you can make the experience better for users and maybe you'll gain more money, but you need the money to be able to make the experience better for users. So, you know, we're more concerned about what we can do
I'm stuck on something.
ground floor that doesn't require more time and effort before we worry about the elements of the experience that require time and effort. If that makes sense. Digi, are you working on any music right now? Any ETA? Not at all. I have a half-finished album from early in the year, but I have not been working on it. Guys, you have to understand, literally, everything is like, the last couple days, all I did was try to get the fucking hot water repaired in my house.
Yeah, it's not a good week for productivity in
It was a
general.
terrible week for productivity. And I'm working on writing the next main... Because, like, Devu is basically done with part 3 of Steins Gate. I had to send him back for a couple of corrections that I wanted. And then, like... But it should be almost done. And then I had to finish up the audio and another video component for part 4. So, like, my part on the Steins Gate video is completely done. So I've moved on to writing the next big main channel series. So I'm working on that. And then... IM Games is, like, you know, a lot of time because we do all these live streams, and then also there's the video component. We spend a lot of time just trying to figure out what games we're gonna play on fucking IM Games.
It's an important question.
This boss looks fucking sick, by the way.
It is fun.
He is fucking dope. I wish your map wasn't taking up so much of the screen. Is there a way to make that... Oh.
Yeah,
Well, there
I was
you
just
go.
on from the previous level. Alright, maybe I can just kill him before this hits me. Yeah, got him. Get fucked, bitch!
He's very, like, Bayonetta-esque.
It's pretty cool looking.
Whoa, he's getting Soul Weavered.
I think the guy I was talking to before summoned him or something. Alright, fucked him up good. Is there anything here I should grab before I go through that little portal-y thing? It's not. Right? No. No. Yeah, fuck.
Are you two Twitch partners yet? I don't think so. Let me go check. Because we got the achievement for Path to Partner, and then it was like... Let me see. It still says in review. It says we usually follow up in 7 business days, and I'm pretty sure we got this more than 7 business days ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the holdup.
I keep hearing our language, or it's like, not these guys. Not these guys.
This ain't that. Shit, I lost the chat, so you guys are gonna have to say anything you said in the last minute. Anything after, are you guys partners yet?
Tell the Boo to do more vlogs again.
I mean, Devu vlogs whenever he has an idea. He's a very busy man.
I Am Games already have so many games in the house.
Yep. We got a shit ton of games.
What's funny is like this is not even
Why
like a
not
very
just
impressive
steal the
game
games
collection.
for the show?
We probably have like a solid.
We'd
what?
much rather steal your money and get them
How many games would you say we have access to here?
at least 200.
No, the count grows exponentially depending on frustration. It's like beating up your ratings after the ratings grow.
Okay. Increases your defensive
Good game,
ability.
guys.
Slowly drains your mana.
Okay.
That is
Come to think of it, we haven't had on-screen chat for the last couple of these, have we?
Have we not? I don't look at the stream ever because I'm playing the fucking game.
Does anybody care about the on-stream chat? Is that like a...
I don't know. I mean, it's good for when we have the videos afterwards, you know, that like people can see what the chat was saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Does anybody know where the shop is so I can like use all these orbs and upgrade my abilities?
I mean, thankfully, anything we respond to, we usually read out loud. I get really frustrated when I'm watching streams where the people are just like
power
straight
up.
responding to the chat without reading the chat out loud, and I'm just like, I don't know what
God.
you're talking to. Like, YMS will do that. He'll just like respond directly to it without reading it.
I still don't have nearly enough to upgrade anything.
I mean, I think having the chat on screen though, because you're always so far behind on the chat, would just be confusing.
Yeah, that is true.
Some people in the chat are saying you care. We get 2 I cares. That's a lot. Out of 90 people.
Will Digi play a game solo? I feel like it's always Tom playing and Digi watching. That's kind of the conceit of the show.
Yeah.
Is that I hate most video games, and
You can't say that wearing that shirt. You fucking
just because I am
faggot.
games doesn't mean I'm all games. But like I can't really play and respond. I mean, I guess if I played and Tom was on chat duty, I mean, we've done that a few times. We've had moments. I played some of Metal Arms.
Unfortunately.
I played some of what was the other game I played for a little while?
Tenchu.
Tenchu, yeah, I played a bunch of Tenchu. I know there's a couple times you've handed it over to me just like go to the bathroom. Oh, Mega Man 11. We were swapping back and forth for Mega Man 11.
Yeah, we were having a lot of fun with that.
This is a cool aesthetic.
Yeah, I like this.
I definitely did not see this coming.
No, me neither. Oh, I thought it was a column.
We climb on the walls. Take a shot every time Digi says conceit if you want to fucking die. It's true. Play Dreamcast games. They are easy to burn on discs. We know. What Dreamcast game would you want us to play on this show? Recommend right now.
Check on radio. Sonic Adventure 2, the greatest game of all time. We gotta play this Pumpkin Hill for Halloween.
Digi is just too critical. I don't even think I'm
Too critical.
that critical.
Digi is not cynical enough for. You're not Mr. Cynical.
I just think he has specific taste in games and modern games don't cater to it. Pretty much. I mean, like, I really love action RPGs and, like, platformers and, you know, just, like, fun action games.
Because I don't want to wait. That's the thing I don't like about that mechanic, is that you have to wait to do it.
Helios asks, do you think streaming the rest of Crosscode would be hype? I think it for sure looks cool enough to stream RPG or not. The thing is that it's long as fuck, and like I'm still like probably at least 10 hours from the end, so it would be a time-consuming set of streams.
I mean, we're taking up the same amount of time no matter what we play, technically speaking.
Yeah, but it's just like usually I'm trying to find games that, like, the logic behind what we stream is not simply that it's games that we're going to cover on the show, but games that, like, we could knock out within a week of streams, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, eventually we might have to play some games that take a little longer, but, like, for the most part, it's like, we stream for, like, 6 hours a week to anywhere from, like, 6 to 9 hours, and, like, that is the length of a lot of action games. So, if we can knock out a game in a week, then it's a more obvious choice to cover for the show. But, like, and you know, if we get really into it and it takes a little longer, we might do a longer stream, like we did for Spider-Man. And it was, like, 3 streams total, I think, and the last one was, like, 5 hours long or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just that we haven't really locked into a game yet. Like, we've been trying a whole bunch of different shit, and then been, like, unsure of what we actually want to cover. Because, like, you know, we play a game like Metal Arms, and it's like, well, if we were having fun with this, then surely we would have done 3 streams and did a video on it. But it sucked, so no thanks. I'll let Tom decide whether or not he thinks Bujingai deserves a multi-stream game analysis video.
I'd keep playing it. It's like, it's flashy, but the mechanics so far aren't super deep.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you're doing a lot of the same shit at this point.
I only have a couple combos, and I can't, there's no more combos to buy. So, like, the comments on the video I watched is like, this is the epitome of PS2 action. And I'm just like, I don't know if I go that far.
I mean, it kind of is the epitome of what PS2 action mostly was, which is games that were shallow ripoffs of Devil May Cry. Like, there was a lot of games like this in the PS2 where it was just like,
maybe epitome is the wrong word. They're saying like
combos.
it's like the best example, like one of the best combat on the PS2.
well,
And
maybe there's something we're missing.
I mean, I'm not even I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, to be honest. But haven't found it yet.
People saying I don't see a problem with long games for streams. The problem is that we are trying to get a video out at a like relatively regular pace so that we can grow the channel, which is still fledgling. And so if we were to say play a game that takes an entire month worth of streams to beat, then that's an entire month before we can make a video about that game. Now, this might be worth it if we found a super long game that, like, we had a ton to say about and we were, like, gonna make a huge video on it and it was gonna be, like, a big deal. And there's a possibility that could happen. We just have to find the right game. Tom's expressed a lot of interest in playing Chrono Cross, and, like, if it comes down to it, I would be totally down to just do, like, a whole month of Chrono Cross streams. But I imagine that even in a case like that, there'd have to be some off-screen play, and probably some, you know, like, you're gonna miss out on the narrative component in the streams, like,
right, that's
it's
like
gonna
the
be
problem with
difficult
those games.
to watch cutscenes and shit.
We're not gonna shut up.
Right.
Whoa, I did a new combo. There is more combos, I'm just retarded.
How'd you do it?
I wish I knew. The thing is that, like, jump is part of the combos sometimes.
Let's see.
Which makes it weird, because, like, I don't know where to mix in a jump that doesn't just stop the combo and makes me jump. So, yeah. That makes it weird.
Combat in this game, nothing special. Parry is a strong point for this game.
Yeah, the parries are cool, but the problem with parries is that you have to wait. You have to wait for them to hit you first. And I don't like waiting around in these kind of games.
The problem.
Are there any games you already have stuff to say about, like a bucket list?
Devil May Cry makes me rock hard. There you go.
Other than that, I have that Final Fantasy X idea, and like there's some that I want to like I would like to do like a series on or something, but nothing I like have an idea for. There's nothing I'm like burning up to fucking cover.
Oh, cutscene. The level almost there already.
Will never be
That's a flashback.
Yofa's in here. I must rescue her.
Duck, duck, go.
Okay, Lau. We can rescue her. I knew my best friend wouldn't let me down. Together, we make a deadly combination.
A deadly combination indeed.
Okay, that was weird.
Apparently, Gak helped to write the storyline of this game, and also, this was in fact one of the games that Zoom, the creator of Toho, worked on as a programmer back when he worked for Taito. So somewhere in the blood of this is fucking Zoom.
It's pretty wild. Hey, yo, fuck you, spider. They're so fucking fuck with them, bro. Man, I'm so close to being able to afford my first upgrade. Oh.
What stage are you on?
3.
There's 8 stages total. This is actually an interesting idea I didn't even think of. Sonic says, yeah, but you can play Chrono Cross Thursdays and other days play different games.
True.
Never even considered.
Chrono Cross long play. And then, whatever the fuck else. Not opposed. Not opposed.
Yes, if we have any history with Visual K. I made fun of it a lot in high school because the dumb cootie girls in my Japanese class were all Visual K fans.
You had a Japanese class in high school?
Yeah, dude, I took 3 years of Japanese class.
What happened?
I started saying, "Ohayo gozaimasu!"
Now I know where it came from.
Why do you think I know Japanese, bro?
You don't know Japanese. You're just some baka gaijin.
Oh yeah, well I can say, それは、はい、はい、
You're supposed to sound like a little girl, like ready to get raped, because that's what you sound like right now.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a Japanese person getting interviewed. That's all they say. The first Toho game on Windows sold like shit during the Comic Day it came out, but after it was
counter this
over,
guy,
he got
but,
so many requests to buy it that he had to go out of his way to print more discs to replace it. Tom, how feel about Chrono Crusade Battle System or Chrono Cross rather?
I mean, it's been forever since I've played it, but at the time I enjoyed it.
Why did you take 3 years of Japanese instead of 4? Is it normal for there to be 4 years of Japanese?
It's normal you take 4 years of a language in general in high school. You take one every year.
I don't know if that's true in Virginia.
Not true in New York.
Yeah. Like, where I've always seen it, like, it's like, if you take 2 years, then that's 1 credit, and if you take a 3rd year, that's another credit. So it's generally encouraged to take 3 years.
Okay, usually it's 4 years.
I took only 2 years in high school, but I took it in middle school as well.
I mean, they only offered up to Japanese 3 at my school, but
This triangle jump thing's really annoying.
I really should not have passed any of the 3 years of Japanese that I took. Like, at all. It's kind of laughable that they continually passed me. And I think the 3rd year it was mostly done because the teacher didn't want to kill himself.
Alright, the jumping in this game, terrible.
Were you good at high school, Tom?
No. I was the kind of person in high school who just calculated out what I needed to do versus what I didn't need to do.
Yeah.
And just skated by, because I had better things to do in my time.
What were your grades like?
Mostly B's.
Mostly D's?
B's.
Oh, B's.
I got D's in math. Like, bad. I suck at math to this day.
Can you not just run straight up the wall?
No.
Hey, it looks like you can do it a little bit. There you go.
Okay, well, no. Maybe? What?
This...
The running and jumping is not great.
It looks fucking terrible.
It
like,
feels,
the animation
it
looks
feels
terrible.
even worse, let me tell you. The reason I was... Because in the tutorial it tells you to do a triangle jump where you jump back and forth from pillars. So that's what I've been trying to do and it's not working. But if I hold down this, I run, but then... Yeah, it sucks. The jumping in this game is ass.
Jump and shoot!
I need more shoot. I'm trying to do that kick move again. I don't know how I did the kick, but I can't do it a second time.
How were your grades in college, Tom?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you were a good boy.
Yeah, I mean, I actually did really good when I took Chinese. That's what the language I took.
Whoa, you took Chinese?
Yeah, I actually really,
Whoa.
I really.
Talk to our landlady. What the fuck?
Yeah, fucking...
I was actually I found it because I took German in high school, and the teacher was fucking terrible, and he was a complete joke, and I couldn't do any of it. But Chinese, I took to incredibly quickly.
That is bizarre.
I think the reason I deduced
say some Chinese shit.
I don't
dude.
remember anything about Chinese.
Yeah, Ni Hao Kai Lin. You actually said it wrong. You said Ni Hai Kao Lin.
Shaolin Showdown.
Dude, that's what this game is. This guy's a boss. He's kicking my ass. No, I want the magic thing! Stop hitting me, you cunt! Time out! Ryuko-sen, level 2, can be used.
I did what Tom did in high school and also went on the fast track, got most of my credits by sophomore year and coasted my last 2 years. Good for you.
Wow, holy fucking dicks, this guy hits hard.
Tom, we good kannst du Deutsch?
I don't know anything. I don't know a single word of German. All I know to say is "Ja, Herr bin ich," which means "Yes, sir, I am here." Which means took attendance. He had to say that. That's all I know. This boss, I haven't hit him once. He's absolutely raping me.
I remember Sagwa. That's about it.
Sagwa, you're the best friend. Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
It's a children's show about a Siamese cat who lived in early China. And I know it because I had to take care of my little sister, and it was on when she was a little baby. So I watched that, and I watched Care Bears the movie 2 way too many times. I know the entire movie. It's really bad. I just got fucking annihilated.
Should I try to catch an EDM?
They're saying parry all day.
I was parrying. He parries back and has more parry bar than I do. Well, got absolutely fucking rocked.
Felix Pretzel says, I feel like I've got a head start on life after not being forced to go to college. You absolutely do.
You absolutely do.
You absolutely do.
Going to college, I've said before, was the biggest mistake of my life. I should have listened to my gut and not my parents.
I had older
Total
friends
mistake.
telling me that I should get a regular job first and then consider college later, and I didn't listen because I didn't want to have to get a job. And luckily college did not leave me ass out because I didn't pay for it, but
Yeah, fuck you.
even still I wish I had not even bothered.
I'm pissed because my parents were like, oh, everybody has college debt, don't worry about it. And only to find out later that my dad's, he never paid for any of his student loans despite going to Northeastern, because when his parents died, he got a bunch of money and just paid off all his loans with that.
Maybe your parents were hoping you would kill them.
I mean, maybe.
Ben has literally said, and he says he's taken this back since, but there was a while where he was saying that, like, he didn't care about paying back his parents for the student debt because, like, eventually they would die and their money would be his, and so the debt would be canceled out that way.
He did say that at one point.
It was very strange.
Yeah, that's a very Ben Saintian thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. The fact that you don't start from the boss fights really is throwing me off because I don't even recall.
Felix Pretzel says, I've just been working full time and learning to make art, and it's been the best time of my life, TBH. And
Yeah, that's all you need.
that sounds like the right way to be a young man in America. That's like the American dream. Right there. Salmon Sandwich says, I wish I was in America. Korea is fucking retarded that they would reject someone with a better skill set because they don't have a diploma. I've seen people rejected over resume photos even if their portfolio was amazing. That is pretty ridiculous, but I mean, even here,
It's the same thing.
like, my buddy Donson, like, has a 2-year communications degree and literally the knowledge to do anything with systems and networking, and he can't get a job without, like, years of experience. And it's like, the only way to get that experience is to intern, and there's no way he can afford to do that. So, unless he gets, like, a bunch of qualifications, but, like, to do that, you have to pay to take a bunch of exams, you know? It's like, he could do it, but, like, it's the money to take all these expensive exams, you know? It's ludicrous. It's a broken system. Tom, what'd you go to college for?
Graphic design.
One of the worst degrees you can possibly go for.
Not only was it the worst degree, I went to school in 2007, the year the iPhone came out, and completely changed the graphic design industry. So by the time I came out, everything I learned, which was basically nothing because all the teachers sucked, but then what they did teach me was totally useless. I had to teach my professors how to do certain things. It was a complete waste. I hate college. I hate everything. And, yeah, there should be a fucking return policy for degrees, because mine's worth nothing.
Simon said, I'm convinced my Zoomer ass is better off for not going to college after high school. Absolutely.
No, I've said it. I said it in the chat when we were all in the Discord when we were all bitching about college before. Unless you're going into STEM or medicine, do not go to college. It's a waste of money.
Indeed. Y'all first world babies complaining about being in Korea made me mad. Where are you from, dog? Sirnak 47.
Fucking Christ. Dude, I'm kind of getting sick of this game, not gonna lie.
Well, we're about 2 hours, 8 minutes into this.
I'm like really upset because like aesthetically it's great, but the gameplay just... There's too much jumping mechanics with bad jumping mechanics. And there's the combos, like... I don't know. Like they're just not... They're not working. Dude.
I'm learning sequential art at art school right now. It's going pretty great. No regrets so far.
When you start
good for
paying
you.
for it, you'll regret it. Let me tell you. I learned more during my summers off teaching myself than I learned in all of college. Easily. The one thing I learned in college, I learned typography because we had a substitute teacher. Because I went for graphic design. First 2 years of graphic design, they fired the graphic design head. There was no graphic design teacher. So I just took other classes. Then the last 2 years, they were hiring like subs, and this one substitute teacher knew her shit, but she actually did this weird thing called teaching, where she would like give quizzes and like make you read books and like learn things. So I learned all about typography because we did graphic design 101, which is all about type. So we like had to write papers about like the stuff and like learn, and all the art kids were like, this is too gay, this isn't what an art class is supposed to be about, so they didn't hire her.
Oh my god.
And I was like,
that.
you fucking baby
Typography
cunts.
was like the coolest class that I took.
And then like we actually learned something, and like I was actually like friends with this professor because I was the only one not being a little bitch about like, oh, we have to write a paper. I'm like, yeah, but this is like interesting shit. And then I got to do a paper on Eric Gill, and I learned about how he was super Christian crazy man and like had sexual like feelings for his daughters and like raped a dog, and then yeah, and then you had to like I put it in the paper because of course why wouldn't you? Yeah. And then I found out we had to read the papers in front of the class, and like, this is gonna be awkward. But then she's like, no, you have to read each other's papers. So someone else had to read my paper about Eric Gill being a sexual deviant and raping his dog, and it was amazing.
That's
Is
awesome.
Eric Gill like Hero the Wolf incarnated?
Who like what did he do? What did he invent?
He made a font called Gill Sans, which is to this day one of my favorite typefaces that I found out through researching that paper. And
So Tom, would you rather switch the game or just stop here?
I mean, we can switch if you want. I can probably keep going.
We're at 2 hours 10 right now, so and it's 8:38.
Is there anything else on PS2 we want to play?
On PS2, we have shitloads of PS2 games. I kind of want to I just want to find the fucking game we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know? I just want to know what the game is gonna be. Like I had high hopes for this game, but like looking at it now, I'm like, this game's not. This ain't that.
This is like
I'm gonna go point the camera at the fucking shit.
Yeah, this is a 7.
You can open up the. That's exactly what every review was. Like the GameSpot review, the summary was literally. It said, "This game is." It said, like this game isn't really a memorable action game, but it's okay. And I was just like, yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, they said that about Shinobi, and they were totally wrong. So I was kind of hoping.
Grab that there, chat, and
I'm grabbing that here, chat. Read the names of the game aloud. Yeah, because
I shall do so.
it is very hard to read from what we're looking at right now.
Final Fantasy. Well, let me make it bigger for them.
God Hand, boys. I played a little bit of God Hand. I remember distinctly not liking it.
God Hand is very hard.
Ninja Jeff, have you ever heard of a game called Resident Evil 4?
I own that on both Steam and GameCube. I love Resident Evil.
Does anybody have any tips for someone that just started college for their computer science degree? Be afraid.
Here's PS2. There's a fucking lot of them. Can you read that shit? Can they read it?
I don't know, can you read that, Chad? Because I can't, but I'm looking at it really tiny.
Look at it on that thing.
Too lazy.
Or just full screen. There's a full screen button right there.
Oh. You can, yeah, you can read it. It's readable.
Alright, what do they ask?
Well, now I gotta minimize it again so I can see. Max Payne, Enter the Matrix, Jack 3. The camera's too shaky and the text is too small.
Possible.
Beautiful Joe is rad. Agreed. Max Payne. Drop out and learn it all yourself. But that's in response to the guy in college. Oh wait, I can read. Beautiful Joe. Xenosaga. What is this Blair Witch shit? I'm assuming in response to your camera control.
More like Chaos Control.
Oh yeah, Call of Duty.
But
Resident Evil 4.
a few down there.
Devil May Cry 2. Fuck you. Beautiful Joe. Xenosaga's too long, but I love that game. DMC 2. Time Splitters 1. Ico. It's all over the place, man.
Alright, here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna read out the things that I'd be interested to see. I would be interested in seeing Time Splitters 1, fucking Genji,
Throw a dart at them? No way, man. It's my game. Fucking play the original Monster Hunter, you cowards. Don't have it.
Beautiful Joe.
I'm down for trying Genji since we bought it. We like just bought it.
Yeah, I mean Genji would be still in this realm. Like I feel like we're just really into the idea of playing a like a ninja or samurai game.
I mean, that's all I ever think about is ninjas. Ninjas are the best. Genji is okay game. Guilty gay.
Guilty Gear.
For Resident Evil. Joe. Well, we're doing it. We're changing one Asian sword man for another Asian sword man.
Yep. You had the gagged. Now get the flagged.
Is that true? Democracy is a sham. You bet on IM Games it is. This is a fucking dictatorship.
Straight from Japan.
That's why you all need to be fucking subscribed so we can get our tithes from you, you fucking peasants.
I need to just make a poll. Make a poll and put it on the Discord.
Yeah, everyone get in the Discord. Genji is the best DPS.
Whoa, that sounds dope. I should probably make it so we don't take up the whole fucking screen, but you should all buy your I Am Games t-shirts. I Am Games and you can too.
Just quoted a pinned tweet.
Our branding is fucking strong, dude.
Yeah, pretty proud of this logo. It's simple but powerful. Like a good logo should be.
Your shirt is covered in bullshit.
Yeah, it's taking some battle damage, let me tell you.
Create a fucking system data, my dog.
Can't even move my controller anymore.
Maybe use the stick, not the pad.
Oh, there we
Or
go.
use the
I
opposite.
just had to
thing
hit a
of what
button, I
said.
guess.
Alright. I gotta change the stream info. What's up? What's up, Mark? What's going on? You bored of streaming? No?
I think that's a yes in disguise.
No, Mark's got a fucking Game Boy.
I fucking play Pokemon Silver. I'm good.
Yeah.
The best Pokemon game?
I mean, if Mark
First
wasn't
one's
playing
better.
Pokemon up here, he'd be playing Pokemon somewhere else.
It's true.
Wow, this is taking a long time. I
It's
think
just like fucking Onimusha.
I think this is the, you know what it is? I just realized why this is probably taking forever. We're using a Chinese memory card right now. The fucking memory is probably super slow.
BUJINGAI!
However, it also is 16 memory cards in one, which is why I bought it.
Whoa!
Yeah. I mean, which is nothing. It's 128 megs as opposed to 8 megs, so it's like not a lot.
This is like a modern game install right now.
Yeah, this is like recreating the worst parts of modern gaming.
Asian Swordman. That would be a good t-shirt.
I still like Shaolin Suffering. I thought that had a good ring to it.
We definitely should just make suffering shirts for every category of suffering. I was talking about this. That like
the new Suffering collection from IM Games.
yeah, like I mean, if we do make our own shirts or use Spreadshirt, either way, there's really no reason we can't just make like a million.
Can
designs.
we just make a bank statement that says $0 and have it be student suffering?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Because that's my life, let me tell you.
Just bite the bullet and play DMC already. You should play them all before the new one comes out. We'll just do the new one when it comes out. Everybody has talked about Devil May Cry. There is literally no new ground to be tread there.
I think people need to understand what the point of IM Games right now is. We're digging for gold.
Yes.
We're throwing all the dirt and shit aside and we're trying to find buried treasure.
Right.
That nobody's talked about.
We're not trying to repeat the same things that everyone's already said, because a video that just repeats things that have already been said will not gain any traction. People will just be like, why would we share your video?
I mean, if we say that Devil May Cry 3 is great, they're like, yeah, we knew that 15 years ago.
Yeah. And like, you know,
the only people who won't know that is
has the
Zoomers.
market well cornered on having said everything about 3 and 4, like, and Matthew Matos has covered the first game to the furthest extent imaginable. Like, when 5 comes out, we're definitely gonna cover it because we'll just get in fast.
I mean, when 5 comes out, like, I'm just gonna play it immediately, like,
right.
even if we're not playing it on games, because I've been waiting years for that. Sounds like Inuyasha. Alright.
Subtract the gact, distract with tact. Well, Heliox there.
This is literally the beginning of Onimusha again.
This actually, like, looks even better than the opening of Onimusha. Like, not like graphical fidelity, but art design wise.
I think it's because like it's in the daytime, so like everything pops as opposed to everything was kind of overcast red.
I like that. Yeah, you can skip this shit. I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking action game. I'm tired of all these cutscenes about samurais running around.
I'm not. Alright, let's go into settings. Make sure I don't switch any bullshit. Subtitles on.
It's really funny how like all these games from this era have like the same menus. Like, this looks exactly like the Bujingai menus.
It is, like, very similar. Alright, skip. Chapter 1.
Heian Kyoto. So, Kyoto in the Heian period. I think this is set a little further back in time.
Heian Kyoto? Skip. What's the general consensus of the game? What's the point? I can't skip this cutscene, by the way.
Our boy Plato agreed democracy sucks.
I mean, Plato made some good points. It's not, to be real. I think people's aversion to Plato's Republic is the same thing that people have reversed to the Sybil system. It's because you're giving up control of your own life, even if that means things could be better. You'd rather be like in charge of your own train wreck than have somebody else steer you towards safety.
I mean, libertarianism is the key. Tom, how do I get a decent $70 smartphone?
Used market, eBay.
When are you gonna release the rest of Digi and May do Bloodborne? I don't fucking know, dude. Like, editing it would be such a nightmare, and nobody, well, except for you, I guess, will give a fuck. But, I mean, now that someone's actually asked, it's a bit...
Whoa.
Oh, this looks awesome!
This looks incredibly good for a PlayStation 2 game.
Holy shit! This is beautiful.
Whoa! I don't know what's happening, but it's cool.
Whoa, good jump.
And my jumps are fucking sick. Alright, alright.
Already
this
even
is like
aesthetically superior to Bujingai.
This is probably one of the most beautiful PlayStation 2 games I've ever seen. Like, it doesn't even seem possible that the PS2 could do foliage that well.
Yeah. I am impressed.
It looks better than the cutscene. Why are we looking at this garbage? Put me back.
Yeah. Whoa, what is this? Tower of Time is a fairly decent game that hasn't been talked about. I don't think a lot of people will give a shit though, but it's a more solid game than most that come out. What the hell is it? Is it new or old?
Whoa.
Tower of Time. I am proud forever with Token of Time.
It's a tower.
It's a RPG on Steam. Oh, this looks like a fucking... This looks like a fucking Diablo game or some shit. No thanks.
Really? I like Diablo. Diablo's fun.
It's a story-rich dungeon crawler with innovative real-time... I think it's like a RTS. It looks like Pillars of Eternity or something like that. I might have just said like a bunch of things that aren't even similar to each other, but like I don't play clicky games.
Alright, dude, look at this game. Look how good everything is.
It looks fucking amazing.
Like, I'll admit the hits don't feel as good as Bujingai's, unless for that. That was cool. I'm doing some cool shit, and I don't know how.
Where did the Sprite shirt go?
Yeah, it got taken down. I don't know why. I haven't logged in
Copyright,
yet.
I'm sure.
Alright, what else can I do? Alright, I got a triangle move. I got a block. Just lets me dodge.
Doesn't Tom like DMC? Could play critical defense for it.
Critical
Yeah,
defense?
you talked about, yeah, for the DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah.
Tom talked about possibly doing that. I mean, there have been people who have done that too. Like, Devil May Cry is just unbelievably well covered on YouTube. Like
fucking sick.
possibly like one of the most talked about games on YouTube. Certainly of the era that it's from. I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that DMC was so controversial, because like anytime there's controversy surrounding a new release, it makes the entire franchise relevant. So like, you know, when DMC came out and a lot of people were pissed off about it, there was a market for videos complaining about that, and that led to a market of videos, you know, praising the old games for their quality.
Speed trees, top of the road.
Since I didn't get an answer earlier, Tom, which male Kamen Rider would you fuck?
Fuck. Well, my two favorite riders that I've seen so far are fucking Kamen Rider Black and Kamen Rider Kabuto, so probably one of them. Tendo Soji's pretty cool.
If college is a waste of time, then why are there so many famous game developers? Is there some secret? Be talented?
The problem is, it's not even a problem. It's the thing is that, like, you don't need college to learn things anymore. Everything's on the internet. The internet is college, but better and for free, okay?
Did Toby Fox go to college?
The problem is, even if he did, it doesn't matter. Everything Toby Fox learned in college, if he did, you can learn not in college.
That's true. This game is fucking so good looking. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, like, the art design is impeccable.
This game looks better than, like, a lot of fucking 360 launch titles.
I would say the foliage in this game looks better than Uncharted 1's foliage, because it's a similar kind of green.
I'm tempted to say so as well. It reminds me of Uncharted.
Yeah, like the bright greens and stuff, but it just... Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
obviously it's alias to fuck, so there's that, but...
I'm just talking
I want to know how this would look on component cables, because we unfortunately don't have the ability to use them at present.
I wonder if this has like an HD re-release. I'm just kind of herpa-derping around right now. This heavy wood door shut.
Fedora Bitter or all caps. There's more Digi and May Bloodborne? Zels, we want Bloodborne. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all the good episodes were never released. We recorded, like, the early episodes of Bloodborne were just, like, us baked off our asses and rambling about nothing. And then later, we, like, made an effort to make a bunch of, like, really good episodes. At least I remembered them being good. Like, they felt good in the moment. And I was going to edit... Well, I was going to have May edit them and then stagger their releases for a while we were getting moved. But we didn't end up getting them edited before we moved, and then after... Are you sick or something, Mark? You alright? Sound like you're sick, buddy. Are you sick? No? Anyway. So May was gonna edit them, but we didn't have time to do it before we moved, and then after we moved, my hard drive that had them had failed, and so, well, I thought it had failed. I wasn't sure, and then I got Tom to take it out of the chassis and put it inside of this server, which I had forgotten to plug back in since rearranging the room.
It's already on, isn't it? I thought it was already plugged in. I went down to plug it in a couple days ago. It was already on.
Oh, well, maybe you did that at some point and forgot.
I don't know.
Because I don't remember doing it. But in any case, yeah, we have the hard drive now in a server and all the files are there. The reason it would be a pain in the ass to edit is that, like, I didn't break the clips in the same places. Like, we would be recording our audio through Audacity and video through the game capture, but like sometimes I would stop the game capture and not the Audacity, and other times the other way around. So it's like a total clusterfuck of what episode, like what audio corresponds to what video.
You don't have any iframes in your dodge. I guess makes more sense, but still.
Wasn't this a launch title? No, not at all. This is definitely late PS2. Looks terrible on stream. Stream compression plus foliage is really bad. It looks pretty good on the stream that I'm seeing right now. And definitely the frame rate is like eating ass, but
That's why we'll never be able to do 60.
I don't know. We probably just need to make the bit like the thing is that we had to lower the overall bit rate in one of the earlier streams because of the fact that the stream was choking dick, and so
That's true.
we have not raised it back up at any point. But I don't think we were wired in back then. I think we were still over Wi-Fi. I would love the rest of the Bloodborne apps. I guess there's a lot of crossover in people who watched me play Bloodborne and people who watched us play games on here.
It's almost like people who are interested in you playing video games are watching your video game show.
Makes sense. Kamen Rider Black is Kino, Tom has good taste.
Good man.
No homo, but black acute. Yeah, but DMC is still considered an obscure series, even though that was never really true, so hardcore fans will flock to anything singing the places of their underdog favorite. That can't be true anymore. People gotta know that DMC is fucking... Nobody can really believe DMC is obscure.
I don't know, man. I'm not tied into the gaming community in any real way, other than this show.
But Tom, don't you need a degree to get a job?
If you're chasing a job right now, you're a fool! There's never been a better time to start your own business. In fact, it's the only way to secure wealth in a fucking fragile economy.
I want to be a pimp.
That's an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my dream.
Genji sequel on PS3, just let you know. That's right, there is 2 of these. Fuck May not editing them. We have Mark now, who is vastly superior.
I don't know how to edit.
Mark doesn't know how to edit?
No.
Mark has no idea.
Mark has
how
a
to
new
edit.
computer
I've
now.
never touched a computer.
What? You
What?
just are you a Zoomer? Are you only on phones? I thought you were a Doomer, Mark. You're wearing the
No.
Doomer hoodie.
No, I've never touched a computer.
The Doomers are all about desktops.
Mark's so doomer, Mark only uses DOS.
Oh shit. That's like dangerously close to Gen X though.
Well, it's like you're into it as like an ironic rejection of modern consumer culture.
That makes sense. Pretty sure Mark said never touched a computer though, not just a...
DOS isn't a computer.
I think video game makers are probably just more tilted towards being college graduates because it takes some amount of math and programming knowledge to make a video game. I mean, it's because most people just go the normal route through life.
Right.
Like, the normal route to becoming a video... Like, if you want to work for a game company, yes, you will need a degree. You need to go to college. But I don't even advise doing something like that. Like, if you want to become someone who directs video games in that field, like who's directing a game like this that would have millions of dollars put into it, you're going to spend decades rising through the ranks of a company, and you're going to bust your ass constantly.
You have to ask yourself, what do I want to do? Do I want to make a game, or do I want to be a part of making games? Because if you go the college route and then to pay it back you have to get a job, you will be a cog in a machine. You'll be the guy who painted the face on this guy for the game. You're not going to make a game. If you have a vision and you want to make your own game, you got to go indie, and means you got to have free time, which means you got to have less debt so you don't spend more time paying the debt back. You can learn it on your own, and you don't have to do all the bullshit 2 years worth of other classes that have nothing to do with your degree so they can double dip on your fucking money. Don't go to college if you have vision. Go to college if you want to be a tool, because they're training you to be a literal tool.
Tom, why don't you ever update your Patreon?
Basically because I asked my patrons and they said they don't give a shit what's on the Patreon. So I just update on the Discord, the patron Discord. But I'll probably have to do it at some point, because it is not reflective of anything I'm doing at all. Whoa.
College is getting a paper to prove you can shut up, act nice, and follow orders. It has nothing to do with your skills.
Thank you. Alright. Dude, look at this game.
I know, dude. It's unbelievably
Holy
beautiful.
shit. Like, if you had told me the PS2 could do this, I would not have believed you.
I'm just wondering, can it hold up to the whole game? And for what it's worth, the bamboo in the background looks like a matte painting, kind of. But
some of it is a matte painting in the back, but that's fine. I'm not... The technical thing isn't even so much just the art direction, the way everything's realized so well.
Genji 2 is one of those games that only exists in theory. Nobody has actually played it.
Has people played this one? Like, I don't know much.
I know about these games because they are on the list of games that V considers good.
Alright.
So...
I like the characters. Like, the way the characters look are really cool.
Yeah. She a cute.
This is one of those games I want to go on, like, 3D model resource, download the models, and look at the fucking topology, because I'd be interested to see how they put these together.
I'll bring my Patreon pledge back to 15 from 5 if you do the Bloodborne videos. So,
how about you just give that money to me?
10, I mean, if that's the case, I'm gonna stagger the release of those fuckers for 6 months to keep you on that. I don't need you bringing it up to 15 and then reducing it down to 5 immediately afterward. College programmers suck ass, though. It's the single most ineffective way to become a computer scientist. This coming from someone who even quit college specifically because I was learning more at home in a weekend than an entire semester.
Yep. It's true. In like the in the month I probably was looking at Godot and learning Python, I probably learned more than I would have in like a semester of college. Because I was talking to my buddy Idelia, you know Idelia? Yeah. We were talking about coding and stuff. He's like, yeah, you're already like way farther than you would have been doing like an actual programming thing. Just in like the couple weeks I was studying. Like, oh, you're already doing like enums and shit? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, I don't know. That's what it said I needed to do. So, yeah. College is gay. Traditional learning is outdated. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I don't remember where I need to go.
Someone said, clip that hot knowledge right there. And then someone else said... like the title, homeless guy spits some truth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is this a woke stream?
This has been my position on college forever.
I can't wait till you talk to Munchie about college.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk to Munchie about college.
Yeah. A rock is talking to me right now.
Schrodinger's Ronin.
Unleash the power and follow the guidance of some Asian dude. Welcome. This is the world that extends within me. I shall teach you the art of using the Amahagane, so that you will be equipped to handle upcoming difficulties. Power. That is Kamui. By unleashing the power accumulated within the Amahagane, you can see through your enemy's attacks and find the precise timing for a counterattack. Defeat the warriors in front of you by using Kamui.
This is a great point I never really thought about. Rui Senpai said, Selhar, also it's very common to say stuff like, I don't need to learn that right now when you're studying on your own. But if someone forces you on stuff you have to, for example, big topics like Big O notation, and I didn't continue the thought, but yeah, I never thought about that, but that's a big deal too. It's like the way that I've always learned things in my career is that I very much just like learn things when they come up and I need to do it, and it's just funny to think that like in school they'll just cram you with just whatever is the curriculum, and it's like half that knowledge, more than half. In fact, I would say nothing I learned in high school was useful whatsoever in my adult life.
Agreed.
and I have forgotten most of it.
Okay.
Munchie is not in college yet. He's talking about possibly going to an art school in Boston, and apparently he has some methods that he might be able to make it not, like, cost anything. I don't know. We're gonna try to talk him out of it. I Am Games is the most black-pilled show on Twitch. Yeah, I would say so. It's the most black-pilled doomer-ass show. Once all the doomers and zoomers run the world, college degrees would be collectively deemed useless. What a world. Whoa, you're inside a generic anime OP. This place looks dope as fuck. This whole game is awesome. Digi, what are you waiting for? Go to California and kidnap Munchie. That boy needs to be saved. I mean, he's coming up here in like 2 days to visit, and he's planning to move to Boston. Ironically, though, I don't know if we'll still be here. But we'll leave that all up to your imagination.
Oh, fine, I guess. I don't understand what that taught me, but that description made no sense. Okay.
Won't Munchie's mom be displeased with you for trying to talk him out of college? I don't know. Probably.
Not my problem. I'd be disappointed in myself if I let him suffer. This village.
The weird thing about it is that, like, it doesn't seem like his mom was pushing for him to go to college. Like, she had a college fund saved up for him from when he was a baby, but, like, it was him who decided he wanted to be, like, classically trained in art. I think it's because, like, because Kaze goes to, like, a really nice art school. Like, what was it called, the one that she goes to?
She goes to Mass Art, I thought.
It would, yeah, whatever it is. She goes to a good one, and, like, I think he wants to be trained the way she is, and that he's probably heard her talk about what she does at school and wants to do some of that. But, like, I just don't know. I mean, if he can sell me on his own desire to go, like that he has good reasons, obviously I can't stop him or anything, but I'm just like, bruh, are you fucking serious about this college shit? Like, what are you gonna do with an art degree?
I mean, if he can go and not pay anything for it, I don't have a problem. The money's the only problem. Like, it'll be a good...
the most expensive city in the U.S.
Right, he's coming here anyways, though. He's moving here one way or another.
If he can do it for free, I will have no issues. In fact, if anybody can go to college for free, just do it. It's a good experience. You'll learn stuff. You're not paying anything for it, you might as well. You know, it's like Gary Vee says, it's a 4-year vacation.
I went and I didn't pay any money, and I still hated it.
You went to a community college, though. You didn't
Still,
go to a university.
I don't believe in any form of anything.
I know. I'm just saying, like, your experience isn't
I'm just saying going for free still wasn't worth it.
For you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be a doctor...
I will say another thing.
If you want to be a doctor, you are not a human being. No one who wants to be a doctor would ever watch any of my content.
Okay, another thing I will say about college. If you have no self-discipline, go to college. Because if you're going to do this shit on your own, you have to be able to, like, regulate your own ability to some degree. And if you can't do that, then, you're fucked.
I wouldn't go to college if you had no discipline, because that happened to my brother, and he just failed out immediately.
Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, same
Look at all
here.
this stuff I can't buy. There's like equipable items and everything. There's
The
like
reason I
RPG
left
shit.
college is because I had no discipline.
I loved going to college until I realized that, like, I hated the program I was going for, and it was not going to actually lead to a job. But college was fun as fuck.
I can't imagine me, even if I had gone to a university, I think I would have hated it 10 times more. Did you spoiled fuck, you didn't have to pay shit and still dropped out. Yeah. I got out while the getting was good.
Okay, guess I'm going down here.
I don't think that makes you spoiled to go to community college for free. Again, it is free in New York State. Like,
Well, it ain't free where I'm from.
I know, but it's community college, and you were forced to go.
I was not forced to go. I think my dad probably would have rather I had gotten a job than go to college. I mean, look at Digi now. He's the American dream IRL. Yeah, more or less. I mean, it's in my mind, the American dream is the thing I'm still trying to work towards. Like, I guess if you think of it as like it's the journey, not the destination, yeah, I'm living the American dream. But I want some destination.
Whoa, look at this guy. This game's gorgeous. This is more of my aesthetic. Games should never have gotten any better, more complex than this. This is perfect. This is perfect video game aesthetic.
Alright, I want to go learn some shit about Genji.
Do it.
Dawn of the Samurai. Some days, some nights, some live, some die in the way of the samurai. This game was developed by Game Republic. It came out in 2005. Do you think this game looks better than God of War?
I haven't looked at God of War long enough, or in a long enough time to really like.
Because like God of War, especially God of War 2, was like.
God of War 2 probably looks better because it was the literal last major PlayStation game released.
And it was fucking incredible looking. But I mean, I don't think it was dramatically better than this. Like, it was around this level of quality. Huh.
I don't understand this mode. They're just like slowing down time.
Fucking so many game studios fucking died in the late 2000s. So this was made by a company called Game Republic, which was made by a guy who, a guy named Yoshiki Okamoto, who was a Capcom guy who worked on Resident Evil and Street Fighter 2, and he went to form his own studio, and they were operating until 2011, and they had to close up. You know, a lot of the people who used to work there went on to Tango Gameworks. But they made a board game called Shadowhunters. Genji Dawn of the Samurai was their first game. And they made Every Party for the Xbox 360, Brave Story New Traveler for the PSP, Genji Days of the Blade, and Folklore for the PS3. Folklore is a really interesting game that I can totally see how this could be made by the same people. Dark Mist and Toy Home for the PlayStation Network. Dragon Ball Origins on the DS, Catan for PlayStation Network, Dragon Ball Origins 2 for the DS, Clash of the Titans on PS3 and Xbox 360, Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom, Dragon Ball Kai Ultimate Budokan for the, or Butoden rather, for the DS, and Knight's Contract for the PS3 and 360, and that was their last game.
Whoa, this is weird.
I would love to see every game these guys have made because they all sound interesting as fuck. At least a lot of them do. This Knight's Contract game I've never heard of, but it looks... It's got a hot girl on the cover.
Is it one of those games?
I don't think so. It says it's, game contains characters loosely based on and named after characters in the Faust legend, as well as several fairy tales.
Whoa. Alright, I beat the thing.
There's like no information about that game on Wikipedia. Apparently it got mixed to generally unfavorable reviews, so that's probably what killed the studio.
How unfortunate.
But like, it seems like all of their games were very like cult, you know?
Yeah.
Other than the Dragon Ball ones, obviously. Gameplay is third-person combat, similar to what is found in the Dynasty Warriors series and Shinobi 2. That's about this game. Dynasty Warriors and Shinobi 2.
Alright.
They're not even similar games in any way. Well, there's two different playable characters. Yoshitsune or Benkei. The game received average review scores. That seems unfortunate. Game looks fucking awesome. How is it? How are you feeling about this game?
I'm digging it. It's got average reviews.
Apparently.
Why?
I don't know.
The only thing that I can say that I'm critical so far is the hits in combat don't feel very heavy. They just kind of feel like, eh. But I mean that's not a huge complaint. The system itself works pretty well. What time is it? I'm feeling tired.
It's 9:19.
I am not opposed to continuing with this game.
Yeah,
going
on the
forward.
next guy.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
intrigued. I'm intrigued to see where this goes.
All right, let's pull up a little.
Dude, look, it's the same thing, but it's night now. It's got like this cool blue aesthetic now. Look at this shit.
Apparently, the guy who made the OST for this game made the Naruto Shippuden and Log Horizon soundtracks. It's all a rich tapestry.
I guess so.
Log Horizon has a fucking amazing soundtrack. Alright guys, I think we're taking off now. I hope you enjoyed this double fisting of samurai action. Or what was it? Asian Blade Men? Is that what we call it?
I'm down. I'm down. Just call I Am Games the most Asian Blade Man stream on Twitch.tv. Be the games you want to see. Give us money. Get in the Discord. Fox.